It's a Friday night, and if you're alone at home, if you're home alone, hold on. If you're home alone and you've got nothing better to do, then why not talk to a tramp? Let's wait a few minutes for people to start arriving. It was very last minute. I'll be honest, I was really not in the mood for this until half an hour ago. I really didn't fancy this. So let's see what happens, see if there's anybody out there. It is another stream where I'm trying to raise money for the people who are looking after my dog for me, the people that are taking care of Tina. We got a vet to come out to Tina and diagnose her and provide medication as well as some food and some vitamins, which I don't think were necessary, but we shall see what happens, folks. We shall see. I guess as an animal welfare charity, they assume that every dog out there is malnourished, underfed. She's bloody better fed than I am. I can honestly say I've got 2 bags of food, 2 sacks, or one and a half sacks of food. I have got more treats than I've got food. If I was to stack them up, they'd be higher than the bags of doggy food. If you've been here a while, if you've followed me and Tina, if you've seen Tina's deterioration over the last year, and if you can help, I would ask that you follow the link to the Facebook page and then follow the links to the payment gateways and contribute. Not just because me and because me and my dog. Any funds they get will go to help other people and other dogs that need help. We love our pets. We obviously we adore. They become pets of people. They have personalities. Therefore, they are persons. Therefore, they're people. Follow a logical stretch, but they have personalities. Therefore, they're people. We love them. They're not just pets. They become family, and unfortunately, in my position, I'm unable, or I've been unable, to get help from vets and animal charities until now. So to find one, we had to go out of town, but to find an animal charity that would help is phenomenal. And my aim in doing these live streams and asking you to follow that link, the pinned comment, and it's also in the description. My aim is to pay back that charity multiple fold. However much it costs them to pay the vet to come for the medication, the dog food, and the vitamins and whatever else they're bringing, I want them to reap the reward and multiple fold, threefold, fivefold, tenfold, however much we can raise for them. Help them to help Tina, but also help them to help other people. That's the aim. That's the aim. I'm gonna go into chat now and see who's here. Has anybody said anything in chat? They have not. Oh, Jack Attack. Thank you, Jack Attack. Jack Attack's in the house. Yeah, folks. Help them to help Tina, but also to help other doggies out there. There will be other homeless people. There will be other people who maybe aren't homeless, but who are struggling and can't afford treatment for their dog. Let's raise everybody up. Let's help them to help others. I can't tell you how much contact I've had in the past with vets who wouldn't come out without, well, not even come out. They wouldn't treat Tina, even if I could get her to them. They wouldn't treat her. Charities that said, no, you're not Spanish, we're Spanish only. Charities that said, papers please, and I'm not entirely legal, so there's no the mentality of people who are like pro-animal, but will turn down treating an animal because paperwork. I don't understand. These people, Big Red's Animal Association, have stepped up, and um, it's ridiculous that I'm saying this. I'm trying to be all earnest and serious with wonky glasses, but Big Red's Animal Association from Crevillente, just outside Torrevieja. They've stepped up. They've done me proud. They're looking after my girl. Various medications and things. Obviously, it's only the first day, second day, I guess. Got the injections yesterday. She's had the tablets and things today. Early days, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that the vet went straight to it. I mean, within 3 seconds, she'd identified an issue. Tina wasn't happy about the fact. The doc grabs her in a certain place, and Tina yelps and whelps and kind of lunges towards the vet in her direction. It wasn't a serious. Tina's not like that. She doesn't bite. She will lunge in a direction and snap her jaws to signal I'm not happy. She calmed down with a bit of a cuddle and a tickle. But if you're out there, folks, if you do have a euro, a pound, a dollar to spare, I would ask you to follow the links and donate to these people on our behalf. Use the reference Tina, just so that they know where it's coming from. I don't think it's not like it matters. They're not going to stop treating just because they don't get enough or something. But I'd like them to be repaid multiple times over. As I said yesterday, I'm going to make a contribution myself. I do have a few euros to spare, especially if we don't need to get the wheels that we were planning on getting a couple of weeks ago. I hesitated on pulling the trigger on that because of sizing issues, delivery issues, flat pack, having to put stuff together. It's not that I wasn't going to do it. I was just procrastinating. It's a theme of the channel, folks. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. Enough about Tina and the soul mining. Hello again, Robbie. Your best friend. Yeah. Doggies is man's best friend. Everybody's best friend. Yeah. This is true. Okay, folks. Let's move on. What other topics have we got to talk about? Thumbs up if you haven't already. Let me explain for I do have a lot of newcomers. I have a lot of people who've not been here before, a lot of new subscribers. A TrampCast Hangout is just me and you talking. It's just me and chat, just hanging out, chewing the cud, and chatting. TrampCast proper happens on Sunday evening. That's where we discuss a week in the life of, the successes, the failures, the other happenings in my life as a tramp, a homeless guy, a homeless Englishman trapped by circumstance in Spain. So that will be Sunday afternoon, 5 o'clock Spanish time, 4 p.m. UK, and 11 a.m. US Eastern time. I have to work that out every time. There's no memory here, folks. It's like my own birthday. If you ask me my age, I don't memorize it. I work it out every time. Subtract this year from that year and then work out where we are in the year. Let's go, champ. Says, hi, Mike. Hope my dad George looked after you. Oh, George that came around, was it last week or the week before? I lose track. He did indeed. He brought me a bag of food one day and 50, was it 50 litres? Yeah, it was 50 litres of water the next. Absolutely. My hero. I'm about halfway through that water by now. Fortunately, I have friends arriving in country rather soon. Hey, Karen. You won't be watching this because you're flying tomorrow. I have friends arriving tomorrow who will top me up and get me. Karen's out for I think it's a flying visit. It wasn't planned. She was supposed to come out in about I think it's like another 30 days. But she's been ever since she got back to the UK. She's been cold. You guys are all complaining about how hot it is, and Karen's like under a blanket shivering. She spent so much time in Spain. She can't adjust to UK temperatures. So my friend Karen's coming out, and I hope will look after me over the next few days. But George did me proud. He certainly did. The food and what was the bottle? Oh, somebody tell me what the Spanish drink's called that all the tourists have. It's red wine and lemonade and sangria. I got there. With the bits of fruit and what have you. There was a bottle of sangria in there as well, which was nice. Sangria is good because it's not as strong as like a bottle of wine like last night. I did get a little bit pickled towards the end. I kept catching myself ending a sentence and wondering where I was going with it. I was, guys, you've been there, you've done it. Maybe you haven't done it on a live stream, but hi, Oscar. Oscar asks, I was going to say Oscar asks. That's not right. Oscar asks, hi, how's Tina? Did the medication help? It's early days. She's only just, she's only in the first couple of doses. We'll wait and see. I actually don't tell the vet. I doubled up on the dosage. It's a few hours ago. The medication's to be taken with food, and Tina's eating time is, well, it's movable. It's literally a movable feast. Eating and feast. Anywhere between 5 and 8 when I get around to feeding her. So I only fed her a few hours ago, but I gave her a double dose. It's 1 hour before the food for the medication. I gave a double dose. I'm going to give a double, I think, for the first couple of days. Then we'll ease off into the standard pattern, and hope to see improvement. I don't know what I can expect to see. There was never any sign of pain. That's all I can say, folks. If she didn't display signs of pain, then what improvement am I going to see? Now, if she suddenly starts jumping up and down and running around on her legs, yeah. But I don't see that happening in the first few days. That's if she does improve, it's going to be a week or two in. So yeah. Let's go, champ. Have you got a real name, mate? George's kid. Have you got a? I'm assuming you're a bloke, but I don't want to jump too far with assumptions. I'm sure he's back in September. Everybody's back in September. Here's the thing. A lot of people leave Spain in June and July because they know how horrendous August is. So all the Scandinavians go home for 2 or 3 months. A lot of English that are over here will go home because it's going to be fairly warm back in England. Why be stupid hot here? So yeah, a lot of people now. Apparently tomorrow is going to be the hottest day of the year so far. 36 degrees, 36, 37 degrees are the forecasts for Torrevieja. Yesterday was stupid hot, and that was 32 or 33. 36 is going to be noticeably dafter. I suspect I'm going to be spending the day outside under the parasol or sombrilla, as the Spanish would say. Didn't know that. You see, parasol, they have paraagua. That's an umbrella. That's paraagua. You would have thought parasol would be like obvious, but they didn't recognize the word. Nobody knew what I was asking for when I was in the Chino Bazaar asking for parasol. Sombrilla, big shadow, I guess is the correct term. So I think tomorrow I'm going to spend tomorrow outside. I got to be careful tonight with my power. The EcoFlow, I messed up. I fell asleep. My God, I have slept most of today, on and off. Like a 2 or 3 hour nap this morning and a 2 or 3 hour nap this afternoon. And I fell asleep with the fan and the cool box both running. And when I woke up, there was shadow over the solar panel on top of the cool box. The EcoFlow was down to 33%. And the panel was in shade and bringing in next to nothing. I chased the sun. I moved the panel around and took the EcoFlow outside. There was cloud on towards the horizon. There was no sun to be had. So we're currently on about 30%. What I've had to do, I've got my phone fully charged, but I'm running from a power bank. I'm trying to keep power in the a full charge for the phone will take about 7 or 8% from the EcoFlow. So I don't think we're in any danger of running out. The light here is plugged in to the EcoFlow because that was depleted after last night's shenanigans. What did we do? 5 or 6 hours last night. Quite a while outside and into the early hours this morning. I got to be a little bit careful with power, but I think we're all right. In the morning, I'll have to let the tent get hot without putting the fan on or the cool box. I got to get the battery topped up. I'm not happy if we're below 90% at the start of the evening. I'm not happy to be on 30%. That's pushing it a bit. So tomorrow the priority is to get that fully topped up, regardless of ignore fans and cool boxes and things. My fan fell over last night, and even it's like in a cage, but it's rattling. It's hitting the metal, and I can't work out where. I've had to take the front half of the cage off the fan, so it's not hitting. When it was hitting though, it was hitting the back half. So that I don't understand. A little bit weird. But yeah, where am I? Darren. Okay, let's go. Champ is Darren, George's son. Good people. I thank your dad. And oh, he did tell me your mum's name about 4 times, and I could. It's short. Hold on. Is it Jill? I'm going to go with Jill as a guess. Correct me. So I am terrible with names, Darren. I'm terrible with names. So George came round and I asked him that night, and then I as soon as I got in the tent, I got tripped up by fabrics and things. That names just went out of my head. I got a feeling if it's not Jill, it's something short and begins with a similar letter, either a G or a J. But I don't know. I'm terrible at this shit. Okay, we're 20 minutes in already. I think I was in the middle of trying to explain. Okay, hold on. I'm getting a bit of flack on Twitter at the minute for something I said earlier. That's okay. I can be a little bit outspoken, folks. If you were here last night at the end, you'll have noticed. Yeah, I don't tone down my opinions just because somebody disagrees with me. I hold my. So on Twitter, I there was something about a riot and people like smacking police cars and throwing rocks at police cars, which I don't agree with. But I was just explaining when people feel that there's no reasonable way for them to communicate their views and have them listened to and acted upon, when the majority of a population express their views and have been routinely ignored, when there's no reasonable way to progress your thoughts, people will find an unreasonable way to express themselves. And this is why riots and things like that happen. And it has to bring the people in power to bear. You have to say to them, we are many, we are strong, we are manifold. We will rip you apart if you don't start doing what we want. You got to communicate that. Democracy is about respecting the masses. It's basically Greek for mob rule, with a polite veneer applied over the top and a process. But if our elected officials are not implementing the will of the people routinely, and if they're turning the mechanisms of the state, such as the police, if they're turning the mechanisms of the state against the people, against the majority, against the vast majority, those people are going to stand up and say, fuck this for a game of soldiers. Yeah, we'll break your laws. Your laws have been configured so that we lose. Why would I obey a set of rules that make me lose every time? No, fuck you. And we're on the UK seems to be on a tipping point. Areas of Spain, the area that's about 100 kilometers south of me here, what's it called? Torre Pacheco or something like that. Same thing. The police are beating up the locals rather than the invaders, migrants. I don't know, how polite do you want to be? If the people, if the mass, if the majority cannot find a peaceful and peaceable way of implementing their wishes, then they'll find a not peaceful way of implementing their wishes. And it's the government's job to act on the majority's wishes sooner rather than later, before people start running through the streets with pitchforks or machetes or whatever the modern equivalent would be. Maybe. Yeah, I don't... Cops, Herod's men are against the public. Yeah, the society, peaceful society lives under a very thin veneer of tolerance and rule abiding. We'll abide by the rules while we think the rules are fair and appropriate. But if the majority of people decide that those rules are being put in place by a class of people who don't have their best interests at heart, if your wishes are not being served by those who rule over you, then you will replace those that rule over you. But in the meantime, you might take up arms and implement the policies that you want yourselves. You might not. You might decide you don't need the politicians. They're not doing anything for you. Now the police, there are a lot of police, but there are far more members of society. If we step up and say fuck you to, if we mob, like I said, democracy is just Greek for mob rule, with a thin veneer of politeness and respectability. We are many, and we can't be ignored. You can't just go around ignoring the wishes of the people. And it seems in country after country after country, that's what's been happening for the last 10 or 15 years. The people are saying, no more of this. And our governments are saying, yeah, more of it. That's unsustainable. My prediction is rivers of blood. Now, I'm not advocating for that, but I'm saying that it's the obvious outcome if we carry on the way that we're going. You can't have a ruling elite consistently going against 70, 80, 90% of the population. If we don't want it, and they carry on doing it, can't end well, can it? So like I said, I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating running through the streets with torches and pitchforks like in a Dracula or Frankenstein film. I'm not advocating it, but I'm predicting it. I am predicting it. The sex assaults in swimming pools and things. Predicted. If this bunch of people come in, this will happen. We all said it, we all saw it, we all knew it was going to happen. Then it happens, and people are not fucking happy. What did they think was going to happen? Did they think that we were just going to carry on with our wives, sisters, daughters, nieces being violated? Who thought that was just going to carry on? If the people cannot achieve their aims through peaceful means, they will find non-peaceful means. It's a simple enough, it's an obvious enough prediction. And so when I see a video last night of, or today, a video from last night, of the police being pelted with rocks and their vans being kicked and doors ripped off and ripped open, like I say, I don't advocate it, I don't support it, but I understand it. And I predicted it. It's an obvious prediction. So I'm getting a bit of flack over, long story short, I'm getting a little bit of flack over on Twitter, because that's what Twitter's for, isn't it? Politicians, the royals and those in charge don't care. They never learn from history. They don't, because it doesn't affect them. It's not a royal that's getting raped down the swimming pool or sexually assaulted. It's not a politician's daughter or wife or niece. It's the normal, it's the member of public's kids, daughters, nephews, nieces, wives, etc., sisters. It doesn't. These things don't affect the upper echelons of society. Live in a dream world. They live in a on a different plane of existence. It doesn't affect them. Same for the chief constable and the deputy chief constable, and you know, you look at the chief constable wrong, you're gonna have 1,000 cops on you in a heartbeat. You're not getting sexually assaulted down the swimming baths. I saw something. I think it was it Germany today. I think it was Germany. It might have been Austria. A swimming pool banned, literally just banned foreigners, and they've gone from having to call the police twice a day to not calling the police in a month. It's just that simple. And you'll get all the wokies will say, oh, racism, racism. It's not racism. If you can predict an outcome and that outcome happens, and then you can change something so that that outcome doesn't happen, that's just obvious. That's just what you should do. That's how society should roll. That's what we do. Xenophobia is some of the claims, isn't it? If you're not racist, then you're xenophobic. No. Xenophobia is an unreasonable fear or suspicion of people that are different, of people that are foreign. It's not if one group of people is causing you as an organization, a swimming pool, for example, if one group is causing you to have to call the police 2 or 3 times a day, every day, and then you take steps to exclude that group, and now there are no calls to the police. Nobody's getting sexually assaulted. No one's getting abused in the swimming pool. That's not xenophobia. That's not an unreasonable fear of something. That's a reasonable fear or distrust. That's entirely logical and reasonable. Or am I wrong? Let's chat. They don't care because they have an escape plan when things go tits up, I guess. I mean, yeah, the royal family had plans to move to Canada in the event of invasion of the UK. Yeah, can't argue with that as a statement. That's a factual, yeah. Makes you wonder what the agenda really is. Yeah, I'm not a big well, I am. I'm a conspiracy theory analyst. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm a conspiracy analyst. Some of these things that look like conspiracies, look like there's a planned agenda. Some of them just come about through kind of dumb circumstance. And I'm not sure on some of this stuff. I'm not sure. Let me put it this way. Our universities got infected with the mind virus back in the late 70s, early 80s. The neo-Marxist, and I went to university. I had lecturers who outright said I'm a neo-Marxist. They were blatant about it, and it was in subjects like behaviour in organisations, which once upon a time we would have called personnel. It was the HRM kind of, the human resource management kind of department. It was those guys that were teaching that were the biggest advocates. But when I was in school, English teachers were terrible for it. Female English teachers were so radical, feminist, radical. I'm not going to say communist, but they were getting that way. I think it stems from this. If the education institutions are captured, infected, whatever do you need? Everyone who passes, you want to be a senior policeman, degrees. You want to be a teacher, degrees. You want to be a lawyer, degrees. You want to be a politician, Oh, you're going to have to, what's the degree that they all get? Economics, sociology, there's an acronym, there's a thing. Politicians, a large chunk of influential senior politicians do a specific degree that involves all of these elements. If you need a degree to be successful and to reach the upper echelons in society, and the universities are being captured first and infected with the mind virus, media, it's all media, law, politicians, senior police, it's all, they're coming through a conveyor belt that's already been captured. The mind virus is there, and the propagandizing is ongoing. Now, bear in mind, folks, I'm a lefty. Before people start, I was raised in Assaciation country. A lot of my family were miners, collierers, whatever the bloody word is. Can't say it this time of night. Colliers. An awful lot of my family. In fact, my family couldn't serve in the army during the Second World War because it was a protected industry, and you basically weren't allowed to leave the industry. They couldn't even like retire or leave the job. They had to stay mining because it was so important to the war effort. So Arthur Scargill and all of that in the 70s, I was on my bike riding around, following along behind the campaign, the cars with the speaker, with the loud hailer. Vote Labour, vote Labour. I got my stickers. We'd get half a dozen stickers each on our shirts and chase after the Vote Labour car. And when the Vote Tory car came around, we'd be booing and chasing them. And so I'm not some far right radical, I get called it. The main reason was because I didn't like the Star Wars trilogy. Comical, absolute. You are a sexist, misogynist, racist, transphobe. Yeah, because you didn't like Star Wars. Okay. People, what do you do with them? Scargill was and is a comic. I think, is he not dead now? I suspect he's dead by now. But he was radical. He was far left. Yeah, I wasn't as fully, I wasn't like so far over, but I was brought up in an area that Barnsley was left. Mainly, you see, things like the National Health Service were really respected because everybody was a miner or had miners in their family. And when a mine collapses, you want like the fire brigade to come and dig you out. You want nurses to come and treat you. You want to stay in hospital and get looked after. So all of those things, police, fire brigade, ambulance, healthcare, a free national health service, those were all fundamental to what a mining community wants and needs. And it kind of showed. Everybody, not everybody, but the ethos of the two main political parties. Labour was think about what other people need. Provide for society. Don't necessarily vote in the way that's best for you. Use your vote for what's best for society. Conservative was always vote for what's best for you. If everybody does what's best for themselves, then through a kind of an agglomeration, through what's best for society will emerge. It will be emergent from everybody voting for what's best for them. And those are the two, and I think to this day, the two different outlooks of the left and the right. So people on the left will vote for things that are not best for them, but that are best for society as a whole. People on the right, I don't want to pay this tax or that tax. I need this cutting or that. I'm voting for what's best for me. And the idea is that like I said, through an agglomeration, through a collection of everybody's views, what's best for society will emerge. I'm not sure to what extent that's true. I certainly find myself a little bit further right now than I was as a kid. I look back at certain naive beliefs and thought processes that you can see are plainly wrong. Some things are just too radical, and but I can see things on the right that are not right either. You like if you just go totally free market, it runs wild and it needs a cap putting on it. You need watchdogs and rules and limits. So both sides have their pluses and minuses, but both are wrong in the absolute. Politics, folks, I don't really do politics. I try to stay away from it too much. Arthur's still alive, is he? NUM funds siphoned into Libya. I don't know about it, but yeah, there's probably funny business. There was overly radical thought processes. Yeah. Like I just said, you can go too far one way, you can go too far the other, and this is why switching between the two parties should give society some kind of overall stability and sensibility. But I don't know whether that's happened the last 15 or 20 years. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure, folks. But politics, I don't really. Let's find a different topic. Has anybody got? Who's here? There's only 2 or 3 people in chat. Jack Attack was here early. He might have gone by now. I'm not sure. Soul Mining, Rob B. Rob, I haven't had a. I don't think the last couple of weeks I haven't had a notification about your music, your mix. I was going to say mixtapes. That's not the right term, is it? Your music, your mixes. I haven't seen one. I haven't had one today, and I don't think I got one last week. You still producing? Is it just the algorithm not shouting me out? So who have we got? We've got Oscar, we've got Darren, Rob B, and Soul Mining. Jack Attack's still here, yeah. Lurker mode, okay. With his eyes. I don't think we'll be joined by Karen today. She'll be getting a good night's sleep ahead of travel tomorrow. Like I said, she wasn't supposed to come out for another, I think it's about 30 days. I'm sure she spends too many days. I'm sure she's breaking the rules, but shh, don't tell anybody. It's just our little secret. What have you got for me, folks? Science news, technology news. We had the kids, didn't we? They announced that there have been 8 children born with 3 people's DNA. So basically, some diseases are triggered if. So you've got 2 sets of genes, and if some diseases you just need 1 bad copy and you've got the thing. Some you need to have 2 bad copies. So if people have got, if a kid's going to have 2 bad copies, when they're doing the in vitro fertilization and stuff, they can check, they can run the DNA samples, and if you got 2 bad copies, they can bring in a snippet of DNA from a third person and CRISPR that in, or whatever they're going to do, and then your kid's not gonna have the disease. We've now got 8 kids born disease free because of such manipulation. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. What happens if those kids have kids? What DNA goes through, the original or the modified? I guess it depends how early you've done the editing. Not sure. We could end up with like a gene pool full of people who've got defective genes because we're allowing fetuses to develop into, into a full child with bad genetics. I'm not now. I got to be careful here because it's bordering on eugenics. This conversation. Far right 1 minute, eugenics the next. Does anybody see a problem with this conversation? Do we want millions of people running around whose children are all carrying the defective genes? So, like I said, I'm not sure of what stage this intervention's done and what the implications are. So this is just me spitballing. This is just me. Borders on eugenics, though, doesn't it? It would become a problem for society if that was the case. If we're keeping alive and allowing to propagate whole lines of descendants with defective genes, so that everybody in future would need to go in vitro and have the gene editing done. I don't know. Potentially you're building up it's like in programming, there's like a programming deficit, a future deficit, where you're storing problems for the future when you do things that are wrong, and you patch it and it works, let's run with it, but you're creating problems for further down the line. To me, this sounds like it could be that writ large, written in DNA, written in humans. It depends. Like I said, I'll pre-say that the whole thing on the, if this was done right at the beginning, at the sperm level, so that every cell has had the alteration, yeah, okay. I don't know at what stage this editing is done, and whether it affects the gametes, the eggs or the sperm of the person that is produced. Is it an edit and also the edit's passed on, or is it just an edit for that one and the weakness is still in their line, in their descendants? I don't know. But that's a science story that I noted from this week. I don't know what anybody else thinks about this. Should DNA be used to convict in a criminal case? Generally, yes, but there are some difficulties with it because you've got chimeric DNA. So, for those of you that don't know, if you have a bone marrow transplant, as we used to call them, now they call them stem cell transplants, your blood from that point forward will have the donor's DNA. So your skin and most of your body has your DNA, but your blood has somebody else's. So when there's contamination at a crime scene, if there's blood left at the crime scene, you could be leaving somebody else's DNA. It's interesting. It's probably quite a rare thing. Also, the identical twin thing. Identical twins have identical DNA. Yeah. So DNA isn't the be all and end all. A lot of the calculations, there have been a lot of trials where they only use 10 bases. They look at 10 points of the DNA and compare them. And then they'll say, only one person in 8 billion would match this. And because there's only 6 or 7 billion on the planet, the assumption is that there's nobody else with those same 10 base pairs. I think they've moved now to something like 13 or 15 because their maths was shown to be wrong. So after using DNA for 30 years, we suddenly decide, whoops, it's not quite as definitive as we said, so we'll have to up our game and do it differently. Meanwhile, there's all these people sat in prison with what mathematically are uncertain convictions. Now, it's unlikely that these are wrong. And it's unlikely that any individual case, it's unlikely that that one case, the DNA was wrong. You know, that somebody else couldn't have had that DNA pattern. It's unlikely. But if you run unlikely, if you run something that's 1 in 100,000, but you do it 1,000,000 times, then you're going to come up with 10 false positives on average. It's just how maths is. Unlikely. It's unlikely that someone, you know, that you'll win the lottery, but somebody wins it each week or most weeks. Unlikely events happen all the time. Literally all the time. There you go. DNA is apparently accurate to 1 in a billion. As there are 8 billion on the planet, it means that there are 8 other people with same DNA is a stretch, but the same within the scope of the test, within the bounds of the test. If you're just examining these 10, 12, 15 base pairs, there could be other people on the planet who would match that same pattern within that. They're not going to have the same DNA as you overall. I mean, that's astronomically unlikely. But 10, 12 or 15 base pairs, yeah, could easily happen. The American legal system, this is Oscar says, the American legal system does not hold DNA to be as accurate as supposed. They now say DNA means do not assume. Yeah, it was an easy thing for jury. I think juries liked the idea of an absolute. A scientist stands up in court and says, we've got a match, he done the crime. And that appeals to people, especially after you've watched Perry Mason and what have you all your life, you know? You've grown up watching, what's the name of the fucking program? You've got NCIS, but what's the CSI, Crime Scene Investigators, CSI. You've grown up watching that. You want definitive, you want accurate. And when you find out, the maths don't quite align, it's not quite as clear cut as you say it is. Shortcuts are taken. Budget cuts in labs. Yeah. Lots of things to be wary of. Nothing's ever as clear cut as we're told it is. So questions should always be asked. I would always agree with that. The inquisitive mind always asks, always prepared to ask, is it as you say it is? Can you prove it? What's the maths? What's the probability? How likely is it that you could be wrong? Do you agree that you could be wrong? All these questions need to be asked about anything sciencey. See, here's one. The word forensics, if you say to someone, I'm a forensic pathologist, what does that mean? Well, you're a pathologist, obviously. What does forensic mean? It must mean that you're the ultra best in your field. You've got to be better than ever. You are doing in-depth. No. Forensics just a posh word that means for the court. If you sweep the floor in the courthouse, if you're the janitor, you're sweeping then you're a forensic cleaner. You're cleaning for the court. That's all it means. Forensic is just a posh word that means for the court. So a forensic pathologist, okay, you're a pathologist. It's no bigger, it's no better, it's no cleverer. It's just a fancy word that means for the court. Let me sit up. I'm slouching a little bit, folks, and it's a very it's a very, very warm night. I got my Tina doggy darling. She's down there and off to the side, so you won't be able to see her, so I won't try. Also, I've been shuffling about on the bed all day. Basically, all of my bedding's pulled into the middle and down to the bottom. It's a total disaster. And I got grief from you guys for having a bed that was a mess a week or two ago. So I'm not going to invite criticism by showing it to you. Fuck you. Away we go. Topics for discussion, folks. Chat with a tramp. I see the numbers are fluctuating, the people coming in and out. There's new people arriving all the time. I am a tramp. For any newcomers, I am a homeless Englishman trapped by circumstance in Spain. I'm in a town called Torrevieja on the southeast coast, on the Costa Blanca south. Just about an hour south of Alicante, 2 hours south of Benidorm. Roughly, a little bit less, hour and a half, hour and 3/4 south of Benidorm. For those of you that don't know where Torrevieja is, I do a show on a Sunday night called TrampCast, where I detail the happenings in my week, as I put it at the time, the successes, the failures, the other happenings in my life as a tramp, a hobo, a homeless man, a vagrant, somebody living rough, somebody living on the streets, or in my case in a field. Karen, wasn't expecting to see you. Tina's, it's just normal. There's no radical change just overnight. She did get up this morning. She went out of the tent and she went around the corner. She's basically spent the whole day under a little bush in the corner there. I didn't even tie her up. She went out without me knowing. I did not wake up today until 11 o'clock, if you can believe that. Almost 11, 10:30, something like that. Incredibly late waking up, but I guess I was up late chatting and drinking with you guys. Did get a little bit leery at the end, yesterday's TrampCast Hangout. Apologies to anybody offended. I know that I seem to have fallen out with one person at least. I think we'll get over it. We agree on 99% of issues. We just disagreed on that one thing. Bit of a hissy fit, but we'll get over it and move on. See views, yeah. I've got to get this. I've got Vitruvium. I think I asked your name yesterday, but I'm not sure that I caught it or kept it. It didn't register. If there is a real name, feel free to share it again. Must have been the wine. It definitely was. I was fine while I was on the beer, and by the time I got to the bottom of the bottle of wine, things were getting a little bit heated. About 4 o'clock in the morning, was it? 3:30, 4 o'clock. Yeah. I was a little bit groggy when I woke up this morning. Ryan from Valencia, hello my friend, hello again, welcome. Karen's in the house. Karen will be jumping on a plane shortly. Is it a late arrival, Karen? Is this where you rush to try and get to Mercadona before they close? Is that the flight we're on? land around 8, try and get out the airport by 9, and try and get to a Mercadona somewhere before 9:30 when they close. Although some of them close at 10 in summer, so you might have a better chance. So I was saying, folks, I do a show on a Sunday called TrampCast where I detail the successes, the failures, the other happenings in my life. This is not that. TrampCast Hangout is just a casual, supposedly random event, although I do seem to have fallen into certain fixed patterns. Friday night, somewhere around 10:30 Spanish time, and Sunday likewise. So Sunday I do the main TrampCast, and if I'm feeling like it, if I'm in the flow, if I'm in the mood, I'll do a TrampCast Hangout Sunday night. And then it could be any other time then, day or night, for a TrampCast Hangout, whenever I feel like it. If I was to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and feel like doing a TrampCast, I'll go online even though all the Europe's in bed. I'll see if there are any of my American or Canadian friends around. Yesterday, I think we got some Australian friends in the house. I got a donation from Jodie M, whose surname is a place in Australia, but she's not in that place from what I remember. She's in Australia though. That was always fun. But suddenly, I'd not been popping up in her timeline in her recommended feed, and suddenly yesterday I was, because I was online at stupid o'clock my time, late morning, early afternoon her time. So that was nice. So these things are meant to be a little bit more random, a little bit more, what's the word? Unplanned, unprepared. Often I will come along with 3 or 4 science stories in mind to talk about. Today, not so much. I haven't got anything in mind. If you guys have got science, technology, maybe news stories, try not to be too political, although I did just go off on one. I try not to be too political because I know it's divisive, and I know that it will offend some people and that some people can't take it and will leave. And I don't want that. I want us all to be friends. We shall see how that... You're trapped by their corruption. Power to the people, sign of nature. Where's Wolfie when you need him? Was it Wolfie Smith? Lazy boy. Karen's calling me names. At least you're in Torrevieja with sea views for free, said Ryan from Valencia. Yeah, I did manage to make it to the cliff tops yesterday. Today, not so much. I wasn't in the mood. Tina wasn't in the mood. One day I will. This sounds ridiculous, but I will pack a little rucksack. I've got 2 rucksacks here. One's tiny. I'll pack the little rucksack so that we can go around that. Maybe I'll take the brolly, the sombrilla, the parasol. I haven't got a base for it, so I will just be hanging on to it. But maybe tomorrow, because it's going to be stupid hot, maybe we'll go the top of the cliffs. The breeze is phenomenal. I mean, it's a wind, not just a breeze. I mean, it can get quite strong. But if tomorrow is going to be as stupid hot as they say it is, I also don't know what I'm going to do for food on a hot day like that. It's not like I can cook pasta or rice and have them. I could do rice and leave it to cool down and have a... I don't know, folks. Hot days are difficult, what to cook, and my gas seems to be getting quite low as well. I think I mentioned that yesterday. Must have been the wine, Ryan from Valencia. Karen lands, you arrive 11 p.m, so you miss the shops altogether. Does that mean you're going to go out to like the Chinese or something? You might drop the lead off if it's not too late. Don't worry about it, because I don't know how to disconnect the current lead. These MC4 connectors are quite a trick to... There's a special tool you're supposed to have to release them, and I don't have it. So we'll see. I did today so the positive lead on my from my solar panel to the EcoFlow. The positive lead had a lot more copper grinning today, the copper showing. I did at one point get sparks from the negative touching the positive, so it got a little bit spicy for a second. Um, yeah, that was a little bit awkward. That was a little bit awkward. Karen's not organised. She's probably going to be dipping in and out. She's. You should invite people on if they want, but I think you need to use StreamYard or similar. You need a laptop. You can't run any of that stuff from a. I've only got a phone. You can put StreamYard on your phone. You just can't do like the off-screen organize. You need. So you've got the video. You've got what you're broadcasting. You've got your phone that's capturing you, and you've got other elements. But you need like a separate laptop and separate screens to be able. Multiple monitors even is best for doing that stuff. I've looked at it. I thought about it once. I haven't got the equipment. But yeah, I'm not against having a co-presenter or another person coming on. I'm not the biggest when I watch those types of shows. If you're just like inviting the public on, they always end up quite awkward and stilted. They're not great viewing, to be honest. But a second or third person that's outspoken enough and that can hold their own in a conversation, sure, I'd be willing. I just don't have the technology. Will I have the tool? Does it come? No. But I'm going to have to do it I'm going to have to take like maybe two knives out. It's possible that pliers, the wire cutter parts of pliers, might be able to apply the right pressure. If not that, then just sticking a knife in and releasing one latch and then the other latch. I've seen people do it online. It's possible. It's not something you'd be able to do in the dark. It's a daytime thing. So no rush on the cable. Don't. I'm getting by. I'm managing. No biggie. No biggie. Where are we, folks? How many of you guys have got YouTube channels of your own? I'm not above promoting, it's not like I'm a big channeler, but I know that some people have channels, like Rob B that was in earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but I should do a thing. I should do a video where I promote some of your guys, some of your channels. If you're smaller than me, arc at him. You know what I mean. Catch you later, Karen. Yes, Karen. Busy day ahead. Long day of travel. Preparing for travel. The preparation and the anxiety before you travel is more than the actual. The actual travel is just 2 hours sitting on a plane, or 2.5, whatever it is. Getting to the airport 2 hours ahead of time, getting through security and into the different lounges or waiting areas and duty-free shopping, all of that shit. Getting to this end, and then you've got an hour or so. If you haven't brought bags, you get through the airport in 45 minutes, say. But if you've checked luggage, you're going to have to find the right carousel and wait and have your bag come around and hope someone else doesn't pick it up and just throw it back on because they picked the wrong thing up. All of the things that happen in airports. Karen has no anxiety. She does it so often, you see. This is the thing. Don't tell the authorities this or you'll... it's like a walk in the park. Mr. S, how are you doing, sir? Hello. Wow, we're getting more and more of the Big Clive and Scruff Dog crew coming over. Hello, Mr. S. I don't know how do you pronounce... I'm going to say Giraffe. Mr. S. Giraffe. Giraffe. I know it's not far off Giraffe, but it's not quite. So I've probably offended you. You'll be leaving already, my friend. Cheers to the subscribers and to the donors. If you've helped me and my doggy, if you follow the Facebook link either now or later, if you follow the Facebook link and then follow the payment links underneath, there's instructions on how to pay with I think there's two different gateways. There's PayPal and there's another one that I can never remember the name of. Great pronouncing. I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. Shirafja. I don't know. Where are you, my friend? Well, where are you? But where's the name? Is that all one name, or is it Mr. S and then that's a surname? How are you rolling with that? And what's the? I would guess African descent, but I'm probably offending you even more by throwing that out there. Just an assumption based on the name, just me being racist again. I did say the N-word again last night, didn't I? Just because, not at anybody, but just because I don't want to have my speech policed. So yeah, I did reiterate the, yeah. If they can say it is a misspelling of giraffe, okay. I don't believe you. I think it's a real name and it's just similar to giraffe. I'm going to contradict you on your own handle, on your own YouTube handle. What did my friend Sign of Nature say? I don't go through security scanning machines at airports or courts. Just show them my legal paperwork. You are my favourite sovereign citizen. I do not contract to be body scanned. Okay. Topics, folks. I haven't got any science or technology. In the past, I would have probably, it's probably not on yet, in a couple of hours, Linus Tech Tips will be doing his weekly live stream any moment. Also in the past, I would have watched Friday Night Tights over on Nerdrotic channel, but I fell out with that. Each week they will talk about whatever their main topic is. It got to the point where they were talking about it for the first hour and a half. You got 9 people talking about whatever the latest film or video game or TV series or some controversy in pop culture. But they would talk about one topic for an hour and a half, and if it means, like this week it will be Superman, because that's out in the pictures. I'm not going to go at the pictures, I'm not going to see Superman. I'm not going to have even a chance of seeing it until it's on some streaming place or other. And so an hour and a half of something that I've got no direct interest in, I got bored. When they talked about something for half an hour and then just talked about something, they talked about other things and then maybe cycled back to the original topic, that'd be fine. But an hour and a half of something that I'm not necessarily interested in, it lost me. It used to be my favourite show of the week. And now here I am live streaming against them. Now it's not that I'm not robbing any of their audience, clearly. All 11 of you that are here. They've probably got 20,000 people watching. HBO Max later, the Superman, could be. Yeah. It seems to be being fairly well received. A lot of people that were against the idea of it when they saw the what do you call them? When they do a 2 or 3 minute clip of the show to advertise it. I haven't got the words. I've lost vocabulary. No words. Somebody help me out. What do you call those little clips of films that they release to advertise them in the run-up? Nobody? Anyway, people saw those clips and weren't too impressed. And then the director made trailer. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you, Mr. S. And then the director went and made political comments about it, trying to align Superman with being an immigrant from a foreign land, and the guy Gunn, isn't it? What's he called? Something Gunn. He tried to draw parallels and make political statements. So people thought the film was going to be all political, and that immediately drew lines between left and right. And it turns out that the film doesn't really stir things up in that direction. It was just the director talking shit. So the film seems to be being fairly well received. People that thought they were going to be against it are coming away and saying, yeah, it's all right, it's not too bad. Some people, a guy I follow online, Ethan Van Sciver, he drew Superman once upon a time. He was comic book artist, mainly with DC, I think. But he did work for Marvel as well at times. But DC and your Supermans, Batmans, Wonder Womans, and not blue, what's it called? Green Lantern. That was his biggie. Ethan Van Sciver resurrected. Green Lantern was basically a dead property, and he resurrected it. Him and he was the artist, and there was a writer as well that he worked with closely. But when someone like Ethan Van Sciver goes to it and comes away and says, really good, I take note. I take note of that. Now I'm not in a position to be going to pictures, folks. It's just not happening. Even when I do watch it, I'll be watching it on a phone that's yay big. You know what I mean? 6 inches, whatever, maybe 6.5 on the diagonal. So it's not something that directly affects me, but when someone as notable as Ethan Van Sciver, EVS, as we call him, says, yeah, he enjoyed it, it was good, I take note of that. So I will, when it is available, I will download it and watch it. Won't be paying for it. Tramp in a field hasn't got money for entertainment. But yeah. But when these guys, going back to Nerdrotic and Friday Night Tights. So for anyone who doesn't know, Nerdrotic, imagine the word erotic, delete the E from the start, stick the word nerd. It is just Nerdrotic. Not nerd erotic, just Nerdrotic. Bloke called Gary. On his channel, there'll be 9 or 10 people there now discussing these things. And it used to be my favourite Friday night thing. No pirates here. I do sail the high seas. I mean, it has to be said. I'm a tramp. What am I going to do? I'm not signing up for like a fucking Hulu subscription or whatever. And if these days, how many different places do you have to go and subscribe if you want to pay for these? You got to have a Disney Plus account, a Hulu account, a Netflix account, The fuck? I want to pay a tenner a month for entertainment. Not 10 to you, 10 to you, 10 to you, 15 to you. And some of them you pay your tenner or your 15 and you're still getting fucking adverts. What's that about? You get a paid subscription now to some of these things And you're still getting advertisements, however you want to pronounce it or pronunciate, I don't care, but I find that ridiculous. I'm not paying for shit and having adverts. Wow, Gary, that's a little bit offensive. Is that the same guys last time, Jack? Spread over weight. There's too many streaming services. Yeah, you pay a fortune if you're... Can you just yeet him? Just one of the options is make him disappear. You carry on posting, he sees it, but nobody else does. Feel free. What is it about me that looks like I don't wash? My beard's trimmed. My muzz is a little bit on the long side. My hair, I haven't washed my hair in 18 months, and generally it's okay. At the minute, because so much sweatiness, it's a little bit tacky, but I'm generally quite clean. I wash every second or third day. The days that I don't wash, where are they? They're not here at the minute. I had them over there with Tina. Is that them? The days that I don't wash, I've got these alcohol wipe things, these wet wipes. So pits and bits on the days that I don't wash, and I wash every second or third day. So they just the word tramp and they just figure don't wash. But, you know, they got nothing better to do in life than have a go at a homeless guy on the internet. Yeah, fuck 'em. Weirdos. That's Gary Green is a weirdo. Gary Green, that's going to be the title of the next TrampCast Hangout. Gary Green is a weirdo. We'll just put that out there. Hey, Gary. Okay, folks, that was the end of that conversation, I guess. I'm getting to the end of that particular beer. Oh, I've done it again, look. I wasn't gonna... I needed that because I fucked it, haven't I? Over here, behind here, the lamp is stood... Fama would like it. The lamp is stood on 3 beer cans, just so that it doesn't attack me. And what I should have done was put the empty underneath. Take out a full one and replace it with an empty. What am I going to do now? I guess I have to leave it balanced precariously on top of 2. Uh-oh. I cut my fingernails as well, so I can't. I'm struggling to open cans. Cheers to Gary the Weirdo, folks. Everybody say cheers to Gary the Weirdo. Use the mug. Oh, the mug's over there. Yeah, that's a different height. I could put it just on the mug, but that's directly behind. If I put the light directly behind the phone, somehow the phone becomes more difficult to read or to see. 16 of you out there, and only 11 thumbs ups. Another 1 or 2 thumbs ups would be appreciated. Maybe one of you is brave enough to share this thing out there. Push it out there in a tweet or on Facebook or something. Friday night with a tramp. You lucky folk. 10-cent rate. Where are you, Mr. S? Hold on, I've missed some comments here, haven't I? Spread it over. Okay, and they keep getting more. Yeah, the streaming services are getting more expensive, or offering you a lower level tier that still has adverts. Yeah. You get the upper tier. What they're going to do, the way it's going to end up, you'll have a lower tier. Pay less, lots of adverts. Pay more, still some adverts. Top tier, pay more, only one or two adverts. There's not going to be such a thing as a no advert tier. They're just going to keep. They're just going to keep going with it. John from Merseyside is in the house. Hello, my friend. Aren't we all weirdos? I guess. I mean, it's Friday night and you're not out down the pub or the nightclub, so I guess you're all weirdos. Not as weird as Gary, though. Gary the oddball. Yeah. 10 cents. What, for one can? One can gets you 10-cent refund. That sounds like a lot, depending on what country you're in and what a cent is worth. I know I've seen people here, I've seen Scandinavians here in Spain walk into Mercadona asking where they hand cans and things and plastic bottles, because in Sweden and Norway, I think they take those back and get a credit on them. It's not a thing here in Spain. They have the centralized bins in the street, the communal glass and plastic and paper and cardboard, the separate bins for each of these things. But you don't get like one set of bins with everything. So over here, we've just got normal bins and a glass collection thing. You got to go around the corner to a different block. You're one block away, there's plastics collection. I'm not going out of my fucking way. If it was all the same place, I would put the plastics in with the plastic. I'm not going an extra block to. It's just not happening. That's just not a thing. Make it easy for me, or it's not happening. I'm as reasonable as I can be. I've got to walk 200 meters anyway. I don't want to go another 300 or 400 meters. Another quarter mile or something to find the next set of bins where I can drop off plastics. You see people going to the bins with cars because they're dropping this off here and that off there and that off. What's the overall environmental impact? Recycling, great. Driving your car to go recycling seems a little bit suboptimal, maybe. To me, at least. Maybe. Mr. S is in the Netherlands. Okay. Holland. There's a Holland within Holland. Okay. I was over there when it's a while ago, isn't it? When was I there? Oh God, probably 2012. I landed at Schiphol and then caught a train down Kerkrade on the southern border. Kerkrade on the same local line as Maastricht. We'll remember Maastricht from the Maastricht Treaty. Kerkrade I'd never heard of, but I was there. I wasn't there for long, but greed rules us. It does indeed. It does indeed. Sign of nature. Yeah, you pay. Yeah, the deposit they're giving you back is money that they've taken from you when you first bought them. Yeah. Plastic bottles and most glass beer bottles. Yeah. And Thomas, hello Thomas. Was that your first message? Same in all of Scandi and Germany. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, the enlightened European countries, unlike Britain. Yeah. You guys. I was just saying about how you'll occasionally see somebody looking a little and lost and lonely in Mercadona. They're looking for the desk where you would be returning these things and claiming your refund, and there isn't one. Nobody Nobody does that here. It's not a thing. You're not getting charged for it on the cans, and you're not getting it back after you've dropped off the cans. Um, yeah. Tina's been surprisingly quiet tonight, isn't she? I wonder what that's about. I can't even see her. You there, babe? Tina? She's there. Hold on. Let me see whether I can. Traditions of the channel, folks. You got to have your traditions. I gotta go. Apologies for the state of the bed, and I hope you don't see my feet or whatever. There she is. Hey, babe. Tina. I get you a treat soon. Oh, treats. Oh, yeah. Soon. Yeah. There she is. Sitting cutely. She's decided the bed is too warm. The fabric, the bedding's too warm in summer. So she wants to be on the cool plastic. I've had to move the carpet. I've pulled the corner of the carpet back so she gets the cool plastic floor of the tent. That's what she likes. The door is just off to the right there, and is well, the proper door's open, but there's a mesh, a mosquito net inside, and that's open about a quarter of the way up. She can get in and out. So if she suddenly needs something, if I've mistimed walkies, and she decides that she needs to do what she needs to do, she can just nip outside and take care of that, and I'll get it when I get it. Mr. S says, hello, Tina. Tina T. It's my Tina girl. Currently unable to walk. I'm hopeful that this situation might be reversed within a week or two. She's not just going to jump. She's got the medication. She's not just going to jump up on her feet and start running around. But maybe we won't have to buy the wheels that we were saving up for. Which then leaves me with a quandary, doesn't it? Because people have donated to buy wheels for Tina. And if I then don't need wheels for Tina, that puts me in a... it's a good position to be in. If this medication works and she does, get the use of her legs back, and then I don't need wheels for her back end, and I don't need to be carrying the back end, maybe. I mean, that'd be lovely. It's not going to happen instantly. But it leaves me in a quandary because people have donated money for one thing and then that thing doesn't happen, and that leaves me feeling bad. Protrusion discal, yeah. Basically, it's a herniated disc, in layman's terms. Use the money for medicine. Well, we've been given medicine we got free coverage. There's a link for anyone who is in a position to and wants to. The charity that has helped us out, there's a link there to them. Follow that link, and there are payment options on that page. Yeah, I mean, her back legs haven't worked for the last 3 or 4 months. She was teetering around on her back legs and was wobbling, and I put a belt under her and was stabilizing her, but over time it's just got worse and worse and worse, and now I'm carrying the back end entirely. I'm lifting her up off the ground, and we walk, and I'm a fat old man. Yeah, I've got to select an amount. If I don't know what the score is like, whether medication will be needed in an ongoing way or whether it's a one-off and one and done. We've got medication for the first month. Let's see how it goes, folks. But yeah, money that's been donated for wheels. If it turns out we don't need wheels, I'll have to do some kind of charitable donation. Yeah, I hope. Obviously, I'll have to talk with you guys, with the people that donated, I'll have to discuss that and see what arrangement we come to. I mean, at the moment we don't know. It was only yesterday. Uh, Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we get improvement, maybe not. Um, she might need the wheels anyway. I mean, that's who knows. Um, but I would feel bad if I've taken money off people for wheels and then we don't buy wheels. So I'll have to find some way of either paying it back or paying it forward. Yeah, yeah. And I guess giving it to the charity listed here. I hope she won't need the wheels. We live in a field, the terrain's very rough. If she does need wheels, they'll have to be kind of fucking four-wheel drive kind of wheels. They'll have to be chunky and solid. No silly little office chair kind of wheels. They'd have to be, you know, something resilient, something that can take the terrain. Um, Tina all-terrain, Tina's all-terrain vehicle. I don't know, folks. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. How are you guys all doing? What kind of week? So it's Friday night again, folks. What kind of week have we had? What kind of week you had? Talk to Delta Mike. Let's have a like a psychiatrist session. How do you feel? How did the week go? What happened? And how do you feel about that? Use Scruff Dog's engine for the wheels. The last thing Scruff Dog built, when he made the remote control thing, and it lasted 5 minutes before he drove it into his foot and broke it. I'm not sure his engine's not just going to blow up on him. And I know nothing about engines. It's been a little bit of a, well, I'm not going to say it's been a bore, but what's it been, 8 or 9 weeks of watching him build that thing, and yeah, I know nothing about engines, so I was just hanging out in chatting with people, or going away and falling asleep. He crashed it immediately. Yeah, well, he ran it around the car park for about 5 minutes before he smashed it into his foot and broke it. But yeah, it didn't last long. He went far too fast, far too soon after initiating it. 5 seconds. Yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't a very long live stream, was it? He went live and it didn't go long. Yeah. So come on then. Who's had a good week? Good week, bad week. How's your week been? What's the weather like in Scotland, Jack? An electric motor would be better. Oh, you see, now you're going all Tesla. Now you're a far-right extremist. You're all MAGA country. Clammy. Okay. Moist. There's a word. Hot and humid, yeah? Close, as we might say. Hot and humid. What's classed as hot and humid in Scotland, though? You're that far north, aren't you? You're on a parallel with Canada. Rain tomorrow. Oh, and that's, you've got the hat on. You're blowing. Whoop, woof, woo. Okay, we're blowing the party poppers kind of thing. Okay, you're expecting rain. I'm expecting the hottest day of the year so far. Muggy in Warrington. 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 That was Eddie. What was the rugby commentator? Eddie. The fuck? Where Eddie Waring? Eddie Waring? Is that right? Going back a few years. Warrington. Eddie Waring, yeah. Thank you. I did get there first, but only just. Thank you. Hold on. Had the shit since Wednesday. Weather is cool here in the Midlands. Had the shit. What do you do? Food poisoning? I hate it. I do. Occasionally, I'll do something silly myself. I'm not going to go into details because I did a too much info stream the other day anyway. But yeah, occasionally I manage to cross contaminate and get myself, and squatting in the field every hour for fucking 8 hours is not fun. It's not. It's not fun when you get the fucking shits in a field. Most of the time, when I do get an upset stomach, it's like controllable. You feel it, it's rumbling, it's going to be a few hours. You know that within the next 4 or 5 hours you're going to have to go, and then it builds and then you have to go. But occasionally, it's, oh, gotta go now. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Oh, fuck, I didn't make it. I hate those ones. The ones where the stomach's just gurgling and whatever for a few hours, and you've got plenty of notice that it's going to happen. Those are all right. I can tolerate those. But the sudden onset, oh crap, I gotta go now. I do not like those at all. Hey babe, Tina, can you hear that? She's running in her dreams. Tina, hey babe, is it a nice dream? Hey, I hope you're not running away from monsters. I hope it's a nice dream and you're running towards something nice. Okay, babe. Tina's okay. Daddy's okay. We're all okay. That's my girl. She can't run in real life, so she does it in her dreams. I don't know. I love it a bit. I like it more in winter when she's in the bed with me. Like, not just on the bed, she'll actually get in the bed, under the covers and cuddle me. For a little bit. And then she'll turn around and go head first, and I'm left cuddling the arse end. I like that. I even like that. When she's gone, I'll miss that. We've probably only got another couple of years maximum together, from what the vet was saying. A dog her size, the vet predicted 10 to 12 years. She's 9.5. So we're entering the end game. So when I will miss just having another entity, another being with you, breathing, dreaming. I said at the start, dogs are people too. Dogs and cats. They have a personality. If you have a personality, then you're a person. Dogs have a personality, cats have individual personalities. That makes them people. In my humble opinion, it might not be a legal reality. But if you've got a personality, then you're a person. You're a people. You just are. And I love it a bit. Sometimes she makes me angry as shit, but so do you guys. Up and over. Rugby commentaries from the what? I'm going to say late 70s and 80s. I don't know how long he lasted. Didn't he? It wasn't him, was it? Who was the one that went on to do the double glazing adverts? That wasn't Eddie Waring. Ted Malt. Malt. Where did he come from? What was he? He seemed like a similarly kind of gruff, kind of old bloke. 28 degrees C where I am now, yeah? Torrevieja, 28. Okay. Be warmer inside the tent, I would imagine. Once you close the doors and you don't have the airflow moving through, it just tends to just build in warmth a little bit. Sign of nature. Food at church, me and others went down. Explain? Explication, por favor. The church was offering food, so you went down. Is this like a soup kitchen, or is this like not a harvest festival? It's too early for that. I'm not sure where you're going with that, mate. But yeah, okay. Shitty situation, said Mr. S. I've lost context. Love it when pets dream. Yeah, oh, it's isn't it? It's well, it's a sign that there's consciousness, that they're either replaying events or amalgamating events or emotions, that they're painting a picture in their mind. So there's definitely thought processes going on. Tina, it's my first dog, and she's amazed me. She understands. For example, we live in a confined space, the tent. Yeah, occasionally I'll stand on her. You know what I mean? It's sometimes she'll stand on me. She understands accident versus like a wallop when she's done. You know what I mean? She understands the difference between. She understands that it wasn't a deliberate act to kick her or to stand on her or stamp on her. She gets it. She knows. That's quite a, if you think about it, that's quite a refined thought process to differentiate between like a smack when you've done something wrong or an accidental like elbow in the side because you were reaching for something or do it. She gets the difference and she rolls with it and understands it. Likewise, I get it when she stumbles or falls or stands on me. I would say that 50% of all of the shoes that I've lost over the last 9 years are because of dogs standing on them. She has a habit of walking behind me, or had when she could walk, had a habit of walking behind me, and her paw would go down and she'd clip the back of my heel. And over time, she'd rip the sole and the rest of the shoe, the upper and the sole would separate. 50% of all shoes that I've lost in the last 9.5 years are doggy related. But yeah, no, the things that she comprehends, the things that she understands. When we're walking and I say, let's go home, turn around and head back this way. When I tell her she's been naughty, if she's done something bad, and she'll look at me, look down, and then like what's the word? Kind of cuddle the ground. She'll kind of huddle down. She knows that she's doing wrong. She knows she's in trouble. She understands these concepts that you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't automatically think. Like a kid has to be 3 or 4 probably before they understand these ideas, these concepts. You're in trouble. Oh, it was an accident. I wasn't telling. It's interesting. It's interesting. I've not read up on anything about like the psychology or the abilities of dogs. It's not something I've read up on, but it would be interesting to read. Because some researcher somewhere will have like pushed this to its limits and gone, gone further, explored what the dimensions are and how far you can go with this. What concepts can they understand and what concepts can they not? It's fascinating. Do our back legs work in dreams? Asks my friend Sign of Nature. Kind of. They do move. But she's lying on her side and they're moving. It's not like she's standing on them and they're taking the weight. But yeah, they move. She does kind of gallop. And this was how the tent took its first damage. So this tent is about 3 months old, and about a month ago, she was laying with her back legs against, like near the doorway, and she kicked through the wall. She put a hole in the fucking wall of the tent, kicking through it in the night. I was not happy. I was not happy. I took a turn. Pole vault chap did window advertising. Is this you're not talking about Ted Malt? Is that like he can't have been a pole vaulter? Church for homeless meals, okay. It shows they have a mind of their own like us. Like I said, they're people. They are entities. They are persons, personas. They have, yeah. If you have a personality, one dog behaves differently to another under the same stimuli, then they their actions are personalized. They are persons. If you're a person, then you're a people. Silly language, I know, but you get where I'm going. Dogs are people too, and cats. I'm not sure whether you could extend it to like goldfish or whatever. I'm not sure that would stretch, but dogs, cats, probably monkeys, probably dolphins, and maybe seals and sea lions. I don't know, but maybe. Yeah. What are the implications of that? Does it mean that certain legal protection should come into place? I don't know. Can't beat a dog as a friend, says my friend John from Merseyside. You're quite correct, sir. You're quite correct. I was always a cat person. I was always a cat person. Didn't have one of my own. My sister had one. I've said before, the girl next door had one. I always got on well with cats. The reason I was against dogs overstates it, but the reason that I wasn't a fan of dogs, apparently, and I do not remember this, but apparently my grandma and granddad, they had a dog, a black and white, is it a border collie, the black and white one? They had one of them, and it had a go at me when I was about 2 or 3, I'm told. And I remember as a kid being frightened of dogs. Frightened's not the right word. I was aware of dogs. I would look down the road, and if there was a dog down the road, I didn't want to go there, and my mum would have to kind of cajole me along. And I didn't know why. I didn't know where this came from. But yeah, it turns out I was told when I was about 10. I think they told me that my grandma and granddad's dog had snapped at me, had a go at me, tried to bite me. I don't know. So I was not a dog person, but then I met her ladyship in the park one day, and every time I looked at her, she was already looking at me, and there was just this thing going on, and the man opposite turned to me and he said, "If you don't," the lady was looking to not get rid. If I say get rid of the dog, that's something. She'd fostered the dog and it didn't get on with her other dog. So she was looking for a permanent home for the dog. And this guy said, "If you don't take that dog, I'm never talking to you again." He was joking. But I took the dog. December of, what year would that be? December of 2016. Had to be. December 2016. Not too early. Maybe the second or, I think the second week of December. Yeah. Okay, Son of Nature's been taking advantage of the hospitality of the local church. Free meals, drinks, cakes, 10 items of shopping like coffee, sugar, milk, tuna, etc. All for £2. Okay, nice. Mr. S is off. Good to see you, Mr. F. Thank you for dropping by. Cheers, mate. Hope to see you again another time. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow night on Scruffs. Is it tomorrow? He's not certain whether he's doing. Is tomorrow? When's Clive away? I'm not sure quite. There was some. I've got a little bit of uncertainty in my mind about when Clive's away and when Scruff's covering for Clive. But then Scruff himself might not be available for something. Is he away at friends or something and he's not sure what the internet situation is? Reconnecting, you are live. There's no Clive tomorrow. He's away at the Edinburgh Tattoo. Shot put, not pole vault. Shot put, not put. It's not Eddie Waring, the other one. Ted Malt. Ted Malt was a shot putter. Was that not Jeff Capes? Jeff Capes was the shot putter, wasn't he? Oh, fucking H. Oh. Ah. E. Oh. Guys. I have just enunciated the 4 vowels that they have in Sweden and Norway that we don't have. They have these extra letters, either with dots over them or with lines through them, and it's that whole ooh, ah, ah. That's basically them's your missing vowels. Is Thomas still here? He'll correct me, but yeah, they have these in Sweden. In Sweden, it's an O with 2 dots above it, and in Norway, it's an O with a line through it, and it's oh, ah. There's 3 or 4. They have these extra letters we don't have, and it's basically that ooh, ah. Okay, so Clive is away. Clive is away doing his thing. For the next, what is it, 2 weeks? Might be 3. Might be 3 Saturdays. Oh, scratchy scratch. Why don't I subscribe to get a wash? What was he called? Was that Gary? Fucking ass. Let me scroll back and see if I can find that shit. I think he was called Gary. How far back do I have to go? It's just one post, so I could easily miss it. There, Gary Green with an E on the end. You see, the guy can't even spell green. 6 weeks or so. What the fuck? Clive doubtful. Yeah, he's not necessary. Yeah, if we can squeeze one in, he will. Yeah. 6 weeks. Random streams a possibility. I guess. I guess it. I mean, if Clive's not available and Scruff's covering for Clive, but if Scruff isn't available sometime, if he's incommunicado, or I guess I could do a stream. Maybe. I'd have to know about it a little bit in advance and dream up some topics to talk about. I can't I'm not woofling in a fucking tent. We're not setting fires in a fabric house. That's not happening. There's no vertithermal waffles. I'd have to have time to research some topics to discuss, because just talking about me and my doggy and how rough life is wouldn't work. Yeah, Clive will do random when he can, cause yeah, when he can fit in a stream. But isn't Saturdays is their big night though? Yeah, that's their biggie. Um, like all week, like the show's every night all week, I think. But Saturday's when people are off work, and you're gonna get a bigger audience. So he's gonna be on standby for fixing lights and shit. Um, mm, yeah, guy's gonna be busy. I'm sure he'll fit in what he can when he can. Absolutely. Okay, I'm up to date with chat. 14 people here, 14 thumbs ups, but you 14 haven't all hit the thumbs up. Those thumbs up were from a different group that were here earlier. Guys, come on, come on, come on. It doesn't cost anything. Don't make me beg. Yeah, he'll probably manage a Sunday. Yeah, Saturday's too busy for that. Sunday, he gets it. Well, day off would be stretching it, wouldn't it? But he different people covering on standby and stuff. He might get Sundays off. Yeah. Fuck, there were 14 people there and it suddenly dropped to 10. What the fuck was that about? Did I frighten you all the way that much? Jeez, guys. Jeez, come on. I'm not that bad. And all of this, let me say this. Look, can I do this? I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. This, the phone currently is being powered from the power bank. The EcoFlow is doing nothing at the minute. It's sat there. It's on. I think it's on 30%. Let's have a quick look. If I can find the button. Where's the button? There's the button. 27. We're down to 27. How are we down to 27? 203. Oh, the light. This light here is drawing from the EcoFlow. So down from 30% to 27. That's. I really did screw up today on the power management, folks. Putting the fan on and the cool box at the same time. So that would draw what? This takes 20 to 25, but having the inverter on as a 30-watt overhead. So you're looking almost 60 watts, let's say, for the fan. Cool box takes 50, 110 watts out for a few hours, while the panel was only bringing in 60 or 70, and then shadow over the panel and it quickly deteriorates. As soon as about a fifth of the panel's covered, you're getting zero from it. It's very sensitive to shadow, and as the sun moves around behind the tent, casts a shadow over this edge of the nearest edge of the panel. So I moved the panel over. I set it up, and the sun went in behind cloud for the rest of the day. So we got nothing. Hopefully tomorrow. I know it's going to be warm, but hopefully it's actually sunny to top up the EcoFlow. Got to get above 80 or 90% before I put the fan on. I'm going to be sitting in here, fucking dripping wet. It's going to take me probably till lunch to get to that point. Probably till noon. Like I said, maybe in the afternoon I'll take my doggo and we'll go maybe to the cliff top and picnic. I might have to cook some food or do something beforehand though. I haven't eaten today. Don't think I've eaten today at all. No, I haven't. Nothing, no food. Maybe I'll cook. I've got loads of eggs, and some of them will be on the turn. It's quite hot in here. I'll do the water test. Whether eggs that float are bad, eggs on the bottom are good, eggs that are in between are in between. We'll do the test. Boil some up. I haven't got any bread or anything. I knock together some kind of egg salady thing in some Tupperware. Take it with us. We'll go and sit on the cliff tops. Take a bottle of pop, maybe a couple of beers, and maybe I'll do a Saturday afternoon live stream, or a video, maybe a live stream. I don't know, folks. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. I'll take the sombria. I'll take the parasol, and we'll. I can only put it up if it's not too windy. Maybe I'll just use the top half and just hold on to it. I don't know. It's all just ideas. I'm just spitballing. I don't know what we're going to do really. But trying to survive the hottest day of the year is yeah. We'll see. I'll do what I can. That'll be Saturday. Sunday, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to write up my notes for a TrampCast. If it's so hot that my hand's smearing the page as I write. Yeah, I would, if Clive's not doing his normal slot, I would expect that Scruff would come on earlier, yeah. Which is what, 10 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock UK, 4 p.m. Eastern in the US. I'd expect so. So is this weekend the loadout? Is this where they just unload all the equipment and get it all in? Has that happened already, or is that tomorrow? Oh, itchy back. Who knows? Come on, there are other people out there. Who's not? Come on, get in chat. Come and talk to a tramp. There are people out there that are just lurking, and you need to contribute. You need to get involved. Help a tramp keep the conversation going, folks. We're running out of things to talk about. Can you believe that first beer lasted so long, and this second one's almost gone in, what, 20 fucking minutes probably? Not good. Not good at all. You think it's done? You think they've done the loadout already? Okay. When was the last? Have you met up with Clive recently, Jack? I know you guys. He has his little meetups, and I know you toddle along to them. When was the last time you saw him in person? Is that recent, or is that a while ago? I'm gonna have to finish this because it's getting warm. What brand of beer you on, Mike? Emdbrow, where the A has the umlaut. I think we looked into it and it was Belgian, but brewed for a company that I think was Europe-wide. Just basically, it's whatever was in the Chino Bazaar. It's the only shop I can get to. My dog can't walk, therefore I can't go anywhere. My dog can't walk. She suffers from separation anxiety. She doesn't like to have me not in sight. It's actually a struggle for her. So, what, the tent is like 6 meters long. You go another 3 meters, and that's the bush that Tina sits under. She started going there on her own. going there on her own, without an input from me, because I leave the door open for emergencies. She started sneaking off in the night or in the morning, and she'll either be under the bush out this side or out that side. Oh, was that someone said drinking? You're lucky. I am lucky. I absolutely am. How can I put this? When I was first homeless, I went 6 or 7 months without a drop of alcohol. I didn't have coffee either. And then two ladies, Anita and Tina, started bringing me a coffee when I was sat on the benches, 500 meters that way. Started bringing me coffee. And then one of them bought me a radio, and another one bought me a flask, a vacuum flask, which the police subsequently stole. But don't get into that. Over time, I've become a little bit. I dreamt for months and months and months. So in the approach to Christmas, the idea of a 12-pack of beer kind of got lodged in my brain. There was a 12-pack of beer in Spain, €2, and it was 2.30 or 2.40 at the time. Two euro. They're 20 cents a can basically, or were 20 cents a can. So it's, let's say 2.40 for a 12-pack. And I dreamed about, if I had €2, if I had €2.5, what €2 or €3, what would I buy? And this idea of a 12-pack of beer lodged in my brain. You can also get a litre of wine in a cardboard box, cardboardo, we would call it. It used to be 85 cents. It used to be 70 cents, but time flies, and so do prices. My drink of choice used to be the 1 litre of wine and a 2 litre bottle of cola. The cola would cost 60 cents back then, maybe it's 70 now. But 70 cents for the wine or thereabouts, and 60 cents for the 2 litre of cola. And that would do me for the best part of a week. 1 or 2 glasses at the end of the night, a third wine, 2/3 cola, and just make that last and last and last. Over time, people have helped me out. I've got that little bit more money. I'm careful, I'm cautious about this. I don't want to appear like a pisshead, but I'm cautious that some people send me money and say, go get a couple of beers. I'm not going to go to a bar and spend a tenner on 2 beers. I would rather go to the shop and get a 12-pack of beers. This guy, he does the Chino Bazaar doesn't do the Tetra packs of wine. So I don't have that option. I haven't been in a supermarket yet this year. I don't get to go anywhere except this field because dog can't walk. Look at this, $6.50 a pint in the local boozer. Jesus Christ. It was just over £3 when I left. $3.40 maybe for a pint of Tetley's, or John Smith's, or whatever the bitter of choice was. Hold on. I might disappear after the 25th unless my Karen keeps this sim only 12 a month. Unfortunate. When you say you're Karen, do you mean you've got someone actually called Karen, or are you saying you're equivalent of a Karen, a person who helps you, like my friend Karen helps me? Where are we going with that wording? Drinking, you lucky chap. I am lucky, I am. I know that. 4 bottles of beer from what? From the, when you said the local, what, the local shop or the local pub? The offie or what? Around 7 notes for 4 bottles of beer. Fuck. Oh, I got, ouch. Oh, not good. From local shop, okay, yeah. £7 for 4 bottles of beer. What use is 4 bottles of beer? Who needs only 4? What the fuck? That's no good. I couldn't do with 4. Did I just finish that beer and throw the can away again? Fuck, I'm a muppet. Hold on. I knew that I needed to keep the can. I said it last time. This won't stand on just... Farmer would be really... The fact that the light is balanced on one can. Fabrizio would not be happy at this state of... Oh, look at that. That flared up a bit. Our friend Fama, Fabrizio, would not be happy at this state of affairs. You got an actual... Okay, someone's actually called Karen, okay. What's... I got this stupid... Whoa, no, I'm not banning somebody. The lamp, it's going to get me. It's coming for me, isn't it? Yeah. So your friend is actually called Karen, okay. So is mine. Lamp, yeah, Jack attacks rolling with laughter at the prospect of the lamp attacking me. It is sat, I'm not proud, I'll show it. It is sat on one, it was balanced on 3 cans for stability. And I've drunk 2 of the cans, and instead of keeping them and putting the empties back underneath, without thinking, I've crushed them and thrown them. Not even in the bin, but just in the general direction of the bin. And now the light is just perched precariously on top of this one can. It's coming for me. It's coming for me. I see that we're not going to be hitting any records in terms of thumbs up tonight. I think the other night we got to 30. We definitely hit 35. I think we might have hit 36 or 37 while we were still live. We're not gonna get there today unless one of you guys shares it out there on Facebook. Hey, come and talk with a tramp. You're doing nothing on a Friday night. Come and, instead of being depressed, come and talk to a tramp. She wants to fly you out to me. Whoa, that's very generous. I got a spare bedroom, the other side of the tent where I store everything. We can put a bed there. You can stay in the other side of the tent for a week or 2. Come and have a holiday out in Spain. Meet Tina. Tina, doggy darling. Hey, babe. Oh, she's fast asleep. Look at her. Fast asleep. Did you hear that? The wind suddenly picked up. Out of nowhere. Most unexpected. Okay, folks. Topics for conversation. So what's your story then, Sign of Nature? What? Hold on, let me remember. You were you Warrington? Watch the wind doesn't catch the lamp. The sides of the tent can blow in sometimes, but not. I think that's far enough away. There's about 6 inches between the wall of the bedroom and the lamp. And if it does catch it, it's going to knock it that way. It's not coming towards the beer. It's not going to get me. Tell Fama that he can relax. It's not going to get me. Oh, you see how easily I get mixed up. Soul Training's in Warrington. Sounds Nature's in the Midlands. Okay. Sorry. I was going to say I have such a poor memory. It's just not true, is it? I have a bad short-term memory, but once something's in here, once it's in, it's golden. It's in forever. To the point where I have difficulty retrieving shit and I have to give myself clues. I did that. Was that last night? I was watching it back. I was watching last night's, but I got about halfway through last night's. Can we call it an episode? That's when I fell asleep. I woke up and it had finished, so it'd been playing for hours and I'd not heard it. But I don't know how bad it ended last night, folks. I've got a. Somebody came on and told me I looked drunk, and I said, "Yeah, that's because I'm fucking drunk." You daft shit. And from there onwards, it probably just deteriorated. Yeah. And then me and Chippy had a bit of a disagreement. I think we'll be fine. I hope we'll be fine. We agree on 99% of things. We just have that. I wasn't even defending Brexit. I wasn't arguing for Brexit. I was just arguing that that was the result and therefore it should be honoured. He's quite obviously vehemently opposed to Brexit. And that's fair enough. But I'm not going to rehash the argument here. Anybody wants to see it, watch the last couple of hours of last night's TrampCast Hangout. We probably don't disagree as much as he thinks we disagree. I was just putting a devil's advocate kind of position forward. And he was a little bit temperamental on it. Hey ho. Hey ho. Omega-3 for improved memory retention. Once it's in, mate, this is a brain that's been through quite a lot of education, a lot of reading. Once it's in forever. Getting past the initial short term that if someone tells me their name, it goes. Their face, when I first meet someone, their name and their face, they go. I have to meet somebody 3 or 4 times before the face and the name get lodged. Amigo, you're off with your laws don't apply. We never agreed to it. I object. I'm a free man of the land, sovereign citizen. Whoa, I got somebody parked nearby, getting out of their car. Not exactly alongside the camp, but just uncomfortably close. I might have to go and look. Should I take you with me? What the fuck? The wind's picked up, so I can't hear what's happening, but there's people out there. Tina? Attacker! Attack! Bark at least. Come on. Let them know you're there. Tina girl, bark. Rah, 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 rah. She's not gonna. Well, I don't know, folks. That's a little bit weird, yeah? It's a single track. It's not even a proper road. It's not paved. In fact, the wheels are wearing away the left and the right side, and they're leaving a mound in the middle of stones and rock, and people are bottoming out the oil sump, the oil pan, whatever it's called, the bottom of the cars, hitting it, and then there's just a stream of oil down the fucking road afterwards. Now she decides to bark at them. you think I should go and look? It's weird. You've got like a 200-meter road, and somebody comes like 75 meters down it and just stops and gets out of their car, and their car's blocking the road. So if a neighbour, if someone who lives here comes down, there's a car in the way. What are they doing halfway down the road at 1 o'clock in the morning? Go on, babe. You tell them. Now I've got voices outside, but that's probably just people walking past. She can't move, she can't walk, she can't run. But if you don't know and you're just walking past and you're up to no good and a dog barks at you, then you're going to think twice about whatever mischief you were thinking about doing. It's just good to have a dog. It is good. It's a deterrent. If they don't know the situation, they don't know she can't move, they don't know that I have to carry her around. Somebody out there at night, up to no good, and a dog barks, they're going to think twice. Okay, babe. Good girl. You going to come back inside? Tina? Back inside, thank you. Oi! In! Dentro! Now? Inside. Come on. You're here. I see you. Keep going. In. Half in, half out. Little bugger. Come on. In. I might have to go and give her a hand, folks. Just give me a second. Where are you? Oh! Where's my girl? Oh, you are fully in. No, you're not. Your legs are out. Come on, bring your legs. Okay, that's it. I got you. It's a good girl. You're my good girl. Oh, you're the other way around. I thought I was stroking your head. I got the arse end. It's okay. Monster. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing. I was stroking away and I thought I'd got the head. I got the arse end again. I always get the arse end. That's my girl. She defends the camp, scares the neighbours away. But I was like, that's a good girl. Coming in for... I got the arse end. That's Tina. Lover's Corner. Yeah, it is a bit of a... there is a bit of that. But people doing that would tend to pull off to the side. Like there are some hoardings at the top of the road. And there's a bit of grass in front, but they will pull their car into there. Or they'll go right to the bottom, to the cliff tops, and there's like it's like a natural car park off to the side. But to park in the middle of the road, when other people might be wanting to come in and out, is a little bit weird. Dogging site, excuse me. No, it's just dogging is a thing, yeah. It's a thing. I think the same people that just went out are now coming back. Okay, I'm caught up. I'm slouching. I am a lot more... Hold on. I'm a lot more slumped over than I was at the beginning. I don't know how that happened. And where's the EcoFlow at? Power line. 26. This light's only drawing 2 or 3 watts, but it's draining the EcoFlow. Fortunately, so far, the power bank. This is the power bank that won't take a charge through the USB socket. It will only charge solar from solar. But it's doing okay. I've had it outside. I figure 3 or 4 days to take it from dead to fully charged, and it's available when I need it. So I view tonight as being a kind of a pseudo emergency, a semi emergency. Power bank down to 30 and running lower to get through the night. And the phone was low at the time, and we're keeping going. So that's good. That's a good thing. 73% on the phone at the minute. That's good. See, this power bank won't keep the phone fully charged. It slows down the rate at which it the rate at which it drops, the rate at which the power drops. It won't keep it fully charged. But it's doing all right by me, isn't it? It's doing well. No problemo. As the Hollywood would say, there's no such thing as no problemo in actual Spanish. No problemo is not a phrase. Where are we? Oh, look at that. I thought I'd turn the show. You guys sing this top. You got the Crown and the Top Fans thing and all that fucking 3, 2, 1 shit. Supposedly turn that off, and it's right there in my fucking way. What you do if police took your phone? Smack 'em, probably. I'm a great proponent of violence. The police would have no right to take my phone. Why would they take my phone? Well, the only time they can take my phone is if they've arrested me. I don't think I have anything on my phone that would get me in trouble. I don't think I've done anything. It's not like I'm a terrorist or anything. What would I do if they took my phone? We were just discussing last night whether I should have a second phone, like a backup phone, an emergency phone. And the consensus between Karen and Josie from the Netherlands, Josie wants to bring me a second phone if she can dig it out. She thinks she's got one laying around somewhere. I wasn't sure that I needed one, but there was a little while ago, before I got this phone, my last phone stopped working. It stopped taking a charge, and I was able in the last hour to go online and say, hey guys, phone's gonna die in 30 minutes. Here I am. A few people asked me my address. A couple of people tried to send me a phone, including Chipmunk, and the other guy who was in Norway and whose name I haven't seen him in a while. A little bit worried about him. I'd have to look back and see what his name was. 2 people tried to send me a phone. Chippy didn't do the customs thing right, and he's got stopped at the UK border. The other guys allegedly arrived here and they tried to deliver, and they said I wasn't here. There was nobody home. And they only tried once and then said return to sender. And as far as I understand it, it never got returned to sender. It just disappeared into a warehouse somewhere. Very unfortunate. So I'm wary of people trying to send me things, but having a second phone, it is a single point of failure, and if it goes, it would like really ruin my life. I've got a tablet that's very, very old, very slow, very laggy. I've got pen drives and SD cards and things with films and TV shows and things stored on them. But the loss of this phone, if this phone was lost or broken or just stopped working, it would decimate me. It would be a really big deal. I've spoken often about how I had 5, 6, 7 months here with no with no technology, no time, no light, obviously no phone or internet. And well, it almost finished me. Well, I'm not going to go into details, but it almost finished me. And then a lady bought me a radio. And then I discovered that radios can be bought for €6. And I'd had money all along. Not a lot of money, but enough for fucking €6 at the Chino Bazaar for a radio. Would have made such a difference all those months. I didn't know that radios had got so cheap. Didn't know it. There were times people were offering me 10 and €20 and I was turning it down because I figured I didn't need the money. You know, I had enough food for the dog, I had enough food for me. Someone was offering me 20 and I was turning it down. I could have bought a fucking super radio, or I could have bought 3 radios. Yeah. No, the phone is the whole internet thing. Yeah, the tablet doesn't have anything out. The tablet doesn't connect out. It does internet hotspot from the phone's hotspot. Without that, I can just watch things that are on USB drives, on pen drives, or SD cards. But that would be it. That would be it. The phone is pivotal to my sanity. It really, really is. Yeah. The phone, obviously the SIM card, and the monthly repayment, the monthly fee, the monthly top up, crucial. Without them, I'm dead. I mean, and I'm not overstating this, guys. I've got a very active mind, and without input, as Johnny Five would say, without input, it struggles. Some things you can talk about on YouTube, some things you can't. I came close to, well, I came close. Just leave it there. The live streaming takes a lot out of the phone because it's broadcasting at, I don't know if we're going out at 1080 or 720. I think 720p. I only ever watch at 144. Not 1440 as everyone interprets it when I write something, but I watch at 144p to reduce. 1 gigabyte of data will get me 10 hours of viewing, and I've got fucking hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes laying around waiting to be used. But I normally watch at 144, but it goes out, let's say it goes out at 720 when it's live. I think videos, are going out at 1080. Live streaming it's broadcasting all of that out there, and the phone's on, the screen's on, the brightness is up. It's a lot for the phone to take. Yeah, it is. The phone notices it. The phone knows, you know. Having a single point of failure in your life is, you know, that having that vulnerability, having something so crucial. See, if your phone stops working, you just go home and use your home internet. I've only got the one thing. We were talking earlier about someone was asking whether I had a laptop and whether I could use Streamlabs and StreamYards and Stream, whatever the other ones are called. I've only got a phone. I edit, and I upload all of my videos from this phone. It's all I've got. I create the live. God, the battles I still have creating fucking live streams. What thumbnail did you guys see? When you came here, did you get the default thumbnail? Grey background, circle with my head in it. Because I created a proper thumbnail that went out on Twitter and went out on a YouTube, like a community post. But when this stream finishes and I click end and that, they'll show me the default crappy thumbnail, my head in a circle on a grey background. And until I upload the proper thumbnail for the third time, fifth time sometimes, that's what people will see. It's a fucking joke. They don't use their own product. They don't know how bad their own shit is. Can a Revolut Visa card be sent out to you where it can be topped up? Just an idea. I've got a post office one. I've got a prepaid debit card from the post office. I send Karen my funny money, my PayPal money, and she basically takes it out to her bank, and then she does the shenanigans to put the money on the card for me. So I have a prepaid debit card at my disposal. Hence being able to afford the beers, guys, and pay for the beers. Cheers. And yes, I know how lucky I am to be able to have a beer. And yes, I went through many, many months where I couldn't have a beer and where I didn't even have coffee. But now, with your help, I can. People, and if you don't like beer and you don't want me to have alcohol and you think that all tramps are winos and alkies, if that's fine. You have your thoughts, and you can send me money and help me. And if you say no alcohol, I will honour that. I honour the stipulations that people put on things. Someone sent me money yesterday and said, like, here's €50. Actually, it's £50. 50, spend it on whatever you want. Somebody today sent me a tenner and said, go get yourself a few beers. So the beers are bought by the people who say, go get beer. If people say, not for beer, not for alcohol, not for whatever, I'll honour that. If someone sends me money and says, go get fish and chips from Tweeties, I try and honour that where possible. Although I find it difficult to go out and spend €10 on one meal. But my friend Bella Belinda Binney, the lady with 1,000 names, she has, I think, 2 or 3 times sent me money to go get Tweeties, and I went. Probably at half the time she sent me the money, I've gone. The first time I wasn't able to. She sent me, I think she sent me 10 and said, go get Tweeties. It was my only money in the world. There was no way that I was going to go and burn my last €10 on one meal when that could buy a week's food. But to Bella, Binney, Belinda, Binney, Bella, however many names she's got nowadays, there's more. There are more. Cheers, Bella. I like her. I'm going out at 10:80 at the minute. Really? You surprise me. I don't know. Sometimes it's 10:80, sometimes it's 7:20. I don't know how it picks. Maybe the bandwidth, maybe maybe if the phone's cool enough. I don't know. Heavy going on the processor. Yeah, it is. Soul mining? Remind me. Have you got a proper name? I'm sure. I must have asked already. Did you tell me? Sign of Nature. Have you got a proper name? I'm. This might just be my bad memory. I prefer to have like a proper name to talk to people by. Internet handles are fine, but real names just add a bit of humanity to the thing. Jack Attack got the proper hangout, the proper thumbnail. Okay, it was the hangout diagonal, yeah. Soul Mining's watching in 720. Soul Mining is Steve, which I assume is short for Steve or Stephen or Stefan. I'm going to go with Steve. Steve. Okay, mate. Soul Mining is Steve. I'll try and remember. Apologies if I, I've already said I've got a bad memory for this shit. We'll try and make it work. But I'm not great. It's funny. You see, I understand that names are important, so I try and make an effort to remember them. I make an effort to try, but that doesn't mean that it sticks. It is a flaw, it is a weakness of mine, along with procrastination. I know what you're going to say next, Jack. Shut up. Told me twice. Yeah, okay, I know. I'm. When we get to 6, if I haven't remembered by 6, then you can get annoyed. I said it needs half a dozen, roughly. Okay, folks. Topics, conversation. Let's conversate. Terrible, terrible Americanism. Converse. Let's converse. We could talk about bad Americanisms, but now I'm lost. Clue starts with the same first letter as of her name. I'm lost. Whose name, what name, where name, when name? Oh. Is the earth flat? Flat? It's not even fucking level. That was, what's he called? The pub landlord. Alcoholic. No, Al Murray. That was his, wasn't it? Flat? It's not even fucking level. The earth actually is amazingly flat. Right. You've got I got to get my words right, my radiuses and my diameters. You've got a diameter of 20, hold on, no, you haven't. 8,000 miles. 25,000 around the circumference. So roughly 8,000 miles is the width of the thing. And the surface varies by plus or minus something like 10 miles. So you've got 10 miles this side, you've got 10 miles that side. So you've got a variation maybe of 20 miles out of 8,000 miles. Basically, that's nothing. The deepest, like the Mariana Trench and Everest, are your extremes. And maybe you've got something equivalent on both sides. You're talking about like a fucking 10 or 20 mile difference out of 8,000 miles. It doesn't even register. If you had a pool ball or a snooker ball that was as the same within the same tolerances, it would be smoother than any snooker ball that's ever been made. The earth is amazingly smooth, really, when you look at the scale. That's a fantastic little factoid. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know where I heard it. It's not mine. It's I don't claim that I'm some super genius that invented that. I heard that somewhere and it blew my mind, and I'm now regurgitating it to you. I don't take credit. Oh, I'm waving fingers in front of the... Hold on. Sign of nature has told you twice. Yeah, that doesn't mean that I know what your name is though, man. I'm an idiot. You have to remember, I'm just an idiot on the internet. I told you twice. Soul mining is Steve. Okay, I'll try and remember that. Soul mining is Steve. Sign of nature's told me twice and therefore won't tell me again. Can you explain why number 3 is everywhere, universe, etc.? No, I don't know that it is. I've never heard that before. Pi, I mean 3.1415, blah, 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 blah. Pi is everywhere because everything's a circle or a globe. Everything's a circle. The universe, the galaxies are a circle that have been pulled in at both sides, but then because they spin, they spread out. But they're basically an oblate. Galaxies are an oblate spheroid, and therefore they're a circle, and therefore pi, and that's 3 and a bit. That's probably why 3 is in most places, because pi is most places. Everything from the dimensions of a tree trunk to solar systems to galaxies to probably the universe. We don't know, we can't see the universe from outside, but it's probably either a globe or an oblate globe, an oblate spheroid. Probably, maybe. And therefore, circles means 3. That would be my keep the can. We're all right for a little while. I will keep it this time. Past, present, future is 3. Pi doesn't have an E on the end, unless it's got a crust and pastry. Didn't Tesla mention the power of the numbers 3, 6, and 9? Nikola Tesla, not the car company. The I don't know much about Nikola Tesla. He seemed to have some good ideas, and then at the end he seemed to go fucking crazy. He was, I'm not going to say conned out of a lot of money, but he lost a lot with Edison, didn't he? There was shenanigans afoot. I'm not an expert on the subject, but 3, 6, and 9. Well, they're all just multiples of 3. So I don't know. As far as I know, 3 is only anywhere because pi. 3 and a bit. Was that you, Tina? I thought I had movement outside. It's you. Probably. No, I don't know. I don't know much. No PhD for this question because no one knows. Yeah. He was silenced. But he was trying to like transmit power wirelessly and come up with big generators that science had no basis for how they would work. I think he went a little bit loony, to be honest. He was a little bit too far out there. I think that him getting ripped off by, was it Westinghouse? Help me. I think Westinghouse was the company started by the other guy I mentioned earlier that I can't remember the name of now. Edison. Tesla got ripped off somewhere along the lines, and I think it messed with his head. I really do. And some of his later theories, hypotheses, experiments, none of them panned out, none of them worked. He lost a fortune, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Three wise kings, I don't know what that means. Three wise kings. Free electricity from the ground. Earth is a big power generator. Is it? Is it? You got the molten core in the middle. You've got a core of iron spinning. That creates magnetism. You could, if you could be stationary while it moves, you could do the induction thing. I don't think you can do the induction thing while you're moving with that spinning core. No, I don't know. I don't see it. And if you do the induction thing, and if then you're taking the energy away, and over time, over maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions, the spinning will slow. You would be. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You would be draining off and drawing off and providing a resistance to the spin, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, my friend. I'm not sure. Earth is a big power generator. It is in a lot of ways, but it's the same. It's like if you use waves, if you take wave power and run that into a wave generator thing, you damp down the waves. The waves are not as strong after they've been tapped. If you were doing that with the Earth's not going to be spinning in the same way, or however you put it. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it's a free lunch. It feels like it would be a net negative. You get power, but you change the spin or the rotation or the internals of the Earth. I don't know. You would need people more mechanically minded than me. Someone like Big Clive could probably give a much better appraisal of that hypothesis. I'm not the man for the job, is what I'm saying. It's not my area. It's not my area. I don't know what my area is, to be honest. No more? No more. Who's out there, folks? Hello, hello. There are people lurking that are not chatting. Come and just say hello. Tell us where you are, what country, what town, what time of day is it, what's the temperature. Oh, how's the weather going to be tomorrow? Here in Spain, tomorrow is going to be the hottest day of the year so far. In certainly my part of Spain, my part of Spain. I own it. I own Torrevieja. It is now mine. It has been. The internet has decided I own Torrevieja. It's going to be the hottest day of the year so far. That's not to say it will be the hottest day of the year by the end of the year, but how's the weather where you are? What's the score? Who are you? What are you? Where are you? Come and talk to a tramp. It's Friday night. You've got nowhere better to be. We're just coming up on 3 hours of broadcasting. What time did I start? Did I start at 10:30? I think I did. Yeah, it's already over 1:30. I must have been a minute or 3 late starting. Why would that be? I don't remember being 3 minutes late starting. I don't know. Maybe it's the disconnect and reconnect. We had a couple of those earlier, didn't we? We might have lost a minute. We might have lost a minute there. I'm showing 3 hours broadcasting. U.S. Justice Department files motion to release Jeffrey Epstein grand jury transcripts. Oh, they're still coming at me on Twitter. I'm still in trouble on Twitter. I seem to have upset people. It's a knack I have. It's a natural talent. Fucking twatter. Who cares? 2 minutes away, says Jack Attack. What is? I'm showing 3:01 here, but your mileage may vary because of the disconnections and things that we had. Oh, getting a little bit tired, folks, and we might not go much longer. 2 minutes late starting. Okay, I'm with you. I was late. Okay, what was I doing? I went for a pee, and then there was some dog stuff, and then fuck the YouTube app. Oh God. Yeah, okay. The YouTube app wanted me to go portrait again. It was trying to force me portrait. I had to back out of it, come out, change the settings, and go landscape. I'd already set it to landscape right at the beginning of the process, but YouTube ignored it, and YouTube ignored it and was trying to force me. I had the phone like that, and it's going, change orientation or change settings. It wanted me to go. Do you remember when I did a live stream and the phone was portrait? I had 600 viewers during that live stream. YouTube were really pushing out anyone who went live in portrait. They really wanted that to be a thing. This is how they see themselves targeting TikTok tack. They really want to be. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'll go for the normal 200 viewers, 10 at a time who cycle in and out. During. I don't need hundreds and hundreds of people who don't know who I am, don't know what's what, and aren't going to watch for more than a few minutes. Don't need it. Yeah, there's a lot of trash talk about the Epstein list, isn't there? Trump was full on with, we're going to release it, we're going to show it, it's there, it's a thing, let's let everybody see. He comes into power, his people are all, yeah, we're definitely going to release it, we're just reviewing it, we're just deciding there might need to be a few edits for privacy of victims. No, the list's on my desk, we're going to release it soon. There is no list. What do you mean list? List what? No, there's no list. Ghislaine Maxwell is the first person in history that trafficked children to nobody. She trafficked lots of minors for sex with nobody. I don't get it. It's not a joke. I mean, it sounds like I'm waiting for the punchline, but it's not a fucking joke. They say over 1,000 victims. were abused by nobody. What does that even mean? How can you be abused by nobody? Don't know. Sign of Nature, whose name I can't remember. He's told me twice, but it's my fault for not remembering. He says that Tesla was a genius. Probably. But geniuses can still cross a line and go too far. Who was the Nobel Prize winner who decided that orange juice and vitamin C are so effective against everything, we should all just take mega doses of vitamin C? This guy wasn't even a physician. This guy was a physicist, if I remember right. But he decided that vitamin C was the cure to everything, and we should all just be taking like fucking not milligrams. We should all just be taking like, I don't know, a kilogram of vitamin C every day. Pauli, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's him. A physicist with a Nobel Prize goes off the rail in an area that's not his not his area. He goes off the charts, and I suspect Tesla, with the fortune that he lost, with the way that he was conned out of things, with the way he was treated by Edison, I suspect he crossed the line and went too far one way. It's not my field. I'm not qualified to like pick apart his actual predictions, hypotheses. Uh, I'm not qualified. But my sense is that he went off the deep end a little bit at the end. Arkash, hello, hello, hello. Soul Mining says, oh, it's faded on me. Crazy, what the fuck is going on with the hocus pocus garbage they are shielding? Linus Pauling sounds right, Jack Attack. If Pauling and vitamin C comes up in a search, that will be what I'm after, yeah. He physicist, very good on nuclear, but went off on one about vitamin C being the cure to everything. And men of science who think they've found a thing but it's not their field, they are prone to go. Well, if I said crazy, that would be disrespectful. But he was a genius. He was a Nobel Prize winner. But they enter fields that are not their own, and they become a little bit suspect. Let me see if I can work my magic here. Gonna have to go for a pee in a minute, guys. In fact, maybe now. It might be a good idea just to do that now. Whoa! It attacked me. Where's Fama? It did come for me. Bastard fucking thing. What are we doing? Oh, there's more in there than I thought. Okay, hold on. No. See, when it's a full can, the full can has more ballast. It has more, but an empty can is a lot more precarious. Yeah, it came for me, Jack. It came for me. I'm very fond of the oranges. Yeah, the vitamin C thing. I think it was Pauling. I think we've got the right guy. Just give us a second, folks. I'm gonna go. I have to put the microphone on pause because I don't want you listening to the flow. But back in 2 minutes. Sorry folks, just stopped off to fill the doggy's water bowl. Let's see what I can show you. No. Turn it around, there we go. There she is. That's Tina. She's just drinking some water. Hey babe. A little bit more. Tina? A little bit more. No? Yeah, there she goes. A little bit more. Not much. Okay. Feet for the pervs. Look how white they are compared to the legs. Just a little treat for the pervs. Oh. Oh, she's back. She's having more. Oh. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I was watching last night's video back, and when I was on, when I was sent a screen, when I'm watching it back today, I'm like off the bottom. The view that it shows me versus what got recorded and sent out, they're not the fucking same thing. Am I, like, vertically, am I roughly centered in the screen now, or am I, what, at the top, at the bottom, or where am I? To me, what it's showing me now, I'm centered vertically, and more or less horizontally. But that's not what I see when I watch it back the next day. It's it's a bizarro thing. Centered vertically, okay. Cheers to my moderators, Jack and Karen. And Jack Attack and Karen. Cheers, folks. Looks like I'll be seeing Karen in the next few days. Arriving at 11 p.m. is a little bit strange, but okay. I guess. Hate to think. So we're 3.25 hours in. There's only 8 of you here now. 19. We got 19 thumbs up. We're not going to hit 35, 36, 37. It's not. It was a little bit last minute. There was no promotion ahead of time. I'm hoping I can get the notes put together to do a proper TrampCast on Sunday, but we're weeks behind again because I missed 2, didn't I? I was hoping to catch up this week, but it just hasn't. It hasn't fallen right, guys. I need 3 or 4 hours to write up the notes for any one week that we're going to cover, and then to do a TrampCast. And it's so hot and sweaty and horrible through the day that having your whole arm lay across paper while you're trying to write at the top of the page, it's just going to make a mess of the fucking page. Putting a bit of kitchen roll down or a towel or something while you write, it's a little bit awkward. Doable, but a little bit awkward. I will try and do a proper TrampCast this week. Where obviously we're weeks behind. So we were doing, it was June the 29th, I think. The week ending June 29th was one that we just did. So you'd be looking at July the 6th. July, the week ending Sunday, July the 6th. I've got no idea what that was, but it's a few weeks ago. It's only a few weeks ago. Shouldn't be too difficult to refresh my memory and for me to prattle on about. I will do my best, folks. I will do my best. But I don't know. Chin, but I am now. I'm kind of a little bit more slouchy now. Yeah, I am slouchy. Oh, that's Jack Attack's trying to keep me. He's like my photography department, my photography director, as well as my fact checker and kicker outer, deleter of strange messages from guys called Gary Green with an E. To Gary Green! Fuck you, you asshole. I might maintain that as like some kind of in-joke meme. Oh, she's back for more water. She was ready for that. Wow. She was ready for that. And again, more. She's been outside in her corner literally all day. She snuck out of here at about 6 in the morning. And instead of just going outside like she would normally, she went out and she went around to her Tina's corner, to her favorite place. She's been out there all day, and she wasn't particularly bad with people walking. Normally, I'm having to shout, "Tina, shut the fuck up! Tina, leave the people alone! Tina, stop growling!" Today, not so much. Like I said, I was asleep for big chunks of it. Big chunk of the morning I slept, and a big chunk of the afternoon, which was good. Oh, she's trying to go outside now, I think. She is. She's sneaking out. Okay, babe. Careful. The floor of this place, the floor comes up and forms the bottom lip under the door. It's amazingly resilient. Bearing in mind that she's not stepping over the threshold, she's like walking through it, dragging herself through it or over it. And it's moving and it's amazing. I don't think the last tent would have been this forgiving with her. This one's been fantastic. I should do a review, I guess. I should promote the brand. Should's a bit of a strong word, but I mean, we paid full price in a shop. You know what I mean? It's not like they gave it to us to test or to review. But I could still do a review, yeah, about what's been good, what's been bad. We got the one hole that she kicked in it, and we had one other tear that just came out of nowhere, and I've no idea what that was about. But 3 bits of duct tape over it, and it hasn't been any trouble since. Nothing else has gone. It's been another month since the damage, more than probably, and there's nothing more. I think it's been great. Slightly smaller than the last tent, which has caused the odd little issue. The fact that I can't get out of the side of the bed and walk off, I have to bum shuffle to the bottom myself, and I invariably drag the bedding with me, which is why it's all such a fucking mess at the minute. Every third day or so, I have to take all the bedding off, and then like so it's not just like make your bed as in get up and just straighten the covers. There's a take everything off, put everything back on. It's all a bit of a faff. But that's just because there's no room on the side. You can't just step off the bed. I got a bum shuffle at the bottom. But everything's breaking, folks. I've said about how my watch strap, here's part of the watch strap. I don't even know where the rest of the watch is. But that's fucked. Broken watch strap, broken fan. My fan's broken in 3 different ways. Everything breaks in the end, guys. Everything breaks. If any of you are preppers, then you need to know that shit's going to break. And it's going to break sooner than you think, in ways that you don't think. You're just going to need 3 times more of everything than you think you need. So calculate what you think you need, cables, connectors, adapters, they're going to break. Cables are just shit. Cables are just, they are just shit. Um, there's no other way of saying it. Cables are shit. Get 3 times as many cables you need for the first month, and again for every other month after that, because you're gonna need cables are shit. It's just that simple. We can talk about whether you spend more, whether you get good, whether you get bad, whether the what they call the threaded ones, the woven ones versus the plastic ones. You can talk. They're shit. They're gonna break. They're just not gonna last. Come the end of the world, the most prepared person, I give you 3 months, because that tent that you got, it's not gonna last. That tarpaulin you got, it's great when you're doing a solo overnight adventure in a roundabout in the middle of the road. That's fantastic. You're marvellous. Now just go put that fucking tarpaulin out continuously for 3 months and see how much tarpaulin you've got left at the end. You're going to need more tarpaulin. Your tent, you're going to need more tents. They're going to fall apart just the same. You've used them for a week here and a fortnight there and a few days here and a few days there. Put them up for 3 months and tell me about it. I haven't had a tent survive 6 months yet. I'm hoping this one does because we got the tarps on it from the start. But there are areas where there aren't tarps. There are areas that could go wrong. There is dog. There is kids throwing stones. It's not going to last. If you're thinking end of the world, I'm going to head off to a field and I'm going to put up a tent and my tarps and it's all going to be marvellous. No, it's not. You need more cables than you think. You need more tents than you think. You need more tarpaulins than you think. It's all just going to be shit. Don't run off to the woods. Stay in your house. Cultivate your garden. Or save money and just don't be a prepper. That big event's not going to happen, probably. The gas green effect. Yeah, it's like the Streisand effect, only worse. Yeah. Gary Green, what a wanker. Never thought of... Hold on, are you saying never thought of, or you're asking ever thought of? I think that may be... Ever thought of living out of a van? It doesn't rip in a storm. I don't drive, and therefore I can't be in charge of a motor vehicle. I thought about, when I get back to the UK and I get back to normality, I'm thinking I would go and do one of those intensive driving courses where you just go away and for a week you do nothing but, and then they test you at the end. If you fail, you get another free week to redo. I thought about doing one of those. Being almost 60 and trying to... I did learn to drive once, but I got in a crash. I didn't crash, I was stationary. A lorry rammed into me. Pushed me out into a dual carriageway and we got hit from both sides. The driving instructor had glass embedded in his head. Yeah, it was a little bit fun. A little bit spicy. Live out of a van. As kids, we lived out of a Ford Escort van on holiday, like for a weekend, maybe a week at a time in summer. Mum and Dad took me and my sister, and the cliff tops at Flamborough Head near Bridlington, but a little bit away. Bridlington, Cleethorpes, Scarborough. We cliff tops at the seaside. We did that, and it was just a mattress. in the back of a van. Mum, Dad, me and my sister. Bit of water and a camp stove. We did that. Most of the time we'd eat out. Morning we'd have, they'd have a coffee and we'd have maybe a bacon butty or something in the van. I like that idea. I like the idea of it. If I was a driver, then that would be a preferred thing. It's just not a thing for here and for now because I don't drive. I don't have the money to buy a van, and yeah, it's not a thing. It's just not. Yeah, metal doesn't rip in a storm. This is true. Makes a hell of a racket in rain, but yeah. Where are we for time, folks? I said I was going to finish on 3:30. We're coming up on, we're on 3 hours 28. I guess I can do another half an hour if you can do another half an hour. If does that sit with anybody? I'll finish on 4 hours. I'll finish in half an hour. Oh, at let's say at 2:30. Is that someone's messaged me? Where's that at? Who's done what? Oh, okay, that's some advice from my friend Alan about how to separate MC4 connectors. I don't have the proper tool for separating MC4 connectors. And if you've ever seen an MC4 connector, that's from a solar panel to another cable. But they have these like pincer. You gotta push the. There's two things. They've got like a triangle on the top. They push that, and then they come up. And you gotta push them both like that in order to do that. And there's a supposedly specialist tool for the job. I haven't got that. My friend Karen's bringing me a new cable, so I'm going to have to work out how to disconnect the MC4 connectors. I'm told pliers, the wire strippy part, the thin part on pliers might do it. Or maybe I've got some wire strippers similarly might have a cutting edge that can do it. If not that, then tweezers can push one end and then the other. A little bit complicated. Oh, who knew? Hold on. Is chat frozen or have you guys just stopped talking to me? Let's top chat and then back to, it's not clicking. Live chat. That's the end of the messages, folks. I am up to date. We're on 18 thumbs up, as far as I can see, which is good. Cheers to the people who did the thumbs up thing. If you're feeling excluded because that doesn't include you, hit the fucking thumbs up. I'll give you 5 seconds. Cheers to the thumbs up crew. Now that includes you. Do you see how that works? Cheers, guys. A little bit, what's the word? A little bit needy, a little bit grabby, a little bit pathetic, I know. It's just a YouTube thing, isn't it? It's, you got to get more thumbs ups so that it sends a signal to YouTube and they send the video out to more people. So you bring more people in and you can get more thumbs ups. And it's all a little bit wishy-washy. That's okay. We can survive wishy-washy. Usually. Nobody's got any science topics for me. Soul Mining says cheers back at you, and Jack Attack did the cheersy thing. That's nice. You see, that comment about ever thought of living out of a van. Vitruvium, who did tell me a name earlier. I'm going to have to make a list of some of these names and people. Just, I'm not going to scroll. I can't scroll that far back. If you'd like to remind me, it wasn't Steve. That was someone else, wasn't it? Soul mining. Cheers back at you. Cheers, bud. You are more than welcome for the cheersing of the cheersers. This beer is very, very warm. Very warm. Do you know I haven't opened the cool box in over a week? Ryan. It was Ryan in... Was it Valencia? It was definitely a Spanish place. Ryan in Valencia, I'm going to go with. I've half got you. I got the Valencia. If I got it right. Oh, the colour of my fingernails are black. What is that? I'm digging around in the dirt with a dog, maybe. Ryan. I will endeavour to store that, Ryan. I'm sorry. I am bad at this shit. As you've no doubt noticed. I'm impressed, folks, by this this power bank. Still showing 4 lights. Once they go quickly. It's not a when it drops to 3, that's not 3/4 power. That's you're on your way out. But it's kept the phone going. Phone's down to 61 from 100. So it's not keeping it fully charged, but it's slowing down how quickly it drops, and it's doing a fucking rare old job, to be honest. Quite impressed. Ryan goes to Elder a lot, not far from me. I don't know Elder. I shall look it up tomorrow. I can't do things now because stream will end if I switch to a different screen. Oh, that was a fucking thing. When I was trying to input the details for the stream, create the stream, it went live. Like the phone started taking clicks that just weren't fucking happening. It's like I was watching a ghost fucking mess with shit. So there may be like an empty stream waiting to be deleted when I get out of here. I don't know. Wasn't great. So much sweat on the hands and well everywhere through the day. So much salt. And then you get to a point where the screen's got so much salt on it, and it just starts imagining clicks. It just does its own thing, like watching a computer being operated by a ghost. Shit just happened that you didn't want to happen. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to make 25 minutes to get to the next. Soul mining is off. All the best, mate, to you and Tina. Thank you, Soul mining. You did give me your name earlier, and I've lost it already. But thank you. I'm bad at this. I'm going to have to make a list. So Vitruvium is Ryan from Valencia. Soul Mining told me his name earlier. I got Dominic in my head, but that's not right. That was something else. Ryan is going, okay, mate. I think I will probably, maybe in 8 minutes or so, when we get to 3 3/4, I'll probably call it quits myself. Steve, it was Steve. Okay, Steve. I'll get you next time, mate. I'll watch this back tomorrow and I will write down some fucking notes because I'm terrible at this stuff. I struggle to remember that Jack Attack's real name is Jack. I mean, it's fucking. It's Karen's real name, unbelievably, is Karen, and I struggle with that shit. No good at this stuff. It's like I'm some sort of fucking amateur. But I will always remember Gary Green for the wanker that he is. Cheers to Gary Green. Here we go. I'll just put that back down there because if I leave it in my hand, it'll just wave around. This is going to be a much shorter stream than last night, where we went on for, was it 5.5 hours, I think, in the end. God knows how. Not that I remember the last half of it. I do. But not that I'm proud of the last half hour of it. See, the great thing about a live stream is that once it's over, it's over. Very few people watch them like more than 12 hours later. Some people think, oh damn, I missed one, and then they'll put it on and watch it. 12 hours after a live stream finishes, it's history. No one's ever going to look at it again. So it doesn't matter how much willy waving you do. It doesn't matter how much of a dick you make of yourself. You just leave it up. It's never going to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's just not a thing. It is just not a thing. Can you believe that canvas is about 2/3 empty already? I only just opened it. As the night goes on, they get quicker and quicker. Once a Karen, always a Karen. My friend Karen is not a Karen. She's my savior. So where would I be, folks, if I'd never met Karen? TrampCast 001. She's about the second or third person that says hello. Where would I be now if I'd never met Karen? She's gone home to the UK and bought me 2 of the last 3 tents are from Karen. The last 2. Karen, money donated by other people, but Karen went into a shop and bought the fucking tents and then brought them out on a plane. Not the EcoFlow I bought without her, but the cool box and the solar panel. Karen was instrumental. The fan Karen brought. The lantern over here. This was the second one. She got me a lantern, and after about 3 weeks, the fucking police stole it. She just went out and bought me another. So many things. So much help. Her and her fella helping me put the tarpaulins over. All of those dog clips, all of those big chunky clips that are holding the tarpaulins onto the tent. Karen and her fella. So much food and drink and money and just so much help. The chair in the living room, the carpet in the living room. Karen, the carpet on the chair, definitely. So my friend Karen is not a Karen, not in the way that the internet would understand the word. You would love to see me doze off live. That would be funny. I think I almost did yesterday. I've done it in the past. TrampCast, was it 32? I reviewed it again. I watched it back. I was snoring. I had the mouth. I was doing everything. I think TrampCast 32. I'll check it out. If it's not 32, then 32 is the one where I was talking about nodding off the week before. It has definitely happened. Karen had to ring me on the phone, and me answering the phone ended the stream, because as soon as you jump to a different window, that's what happens. Yeah. Hold on. Good soul, then sooty wasn't meant any harm. What am I missing? I feel like I've lost context. Good soul, very sooty. Is your sooty and sweep? Or is sooty a typo? Is that an autocorrect that's gone wrong? My friend Karen's great. I know you don't mean any harm. There's no... I know that, but... don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I'm just missing... Maybe I'm missing a word, or maybe there's a misspelling that's throwing me off. Okay, folks, we're coming up on 3 hours 45. We're on 43 and a half. Sorry, didn't mean... Sorry, okay, sorry, not sooty. Yeah, no problem, no problem. We're okay. I joke with Karen about her being a Karen. It's a word thing. It's a thing. Yeah, phone keypads. I can't type in a fucking straight line with mine. Mine edits things. I will type a word, and it's okay, and I go on, and I get to the end of the mess, and then it edits it. Just as I'm pressing send, the keyboard doesn't change it as I'm type. It will change it like retrospectively. Mine's a Samsung, and it just, apparently they do that. But yeah. Okay, folks, we are coming up on 3 hours 45. I'm going to call it quits here because I've run out of conversation. I'm falling asleep. I'm tired. as the news would say when someone's drunk. Turn off stuff in keyboard settings. Yeah, probably. Let me see whether I can turn this to her ladyship. I don't think she's there. Can you see her? Is she... she's not, is she? She's further around. Oh! Let's... Is she there? No, she's outside. She's gone. She's escaped. Escapado. Mi amiga. She's gone. She's run away. I could hear her cleaning herself. She's preening herself just outside the door, maybe. Lots of water tomorrow. Maybe. Okay, folks, that is us done, I think. Scallywags just arriving as I'm dipping out. Okay, folks. I was going to say from Tina and from me, but there's no Tina. But for those of you that are interested in Tina, the link at the top of the pinned comments there, for the charity that has helped Tina and has brought medications, brought a vet to me, got her examined, and got medication. Tomorrow's going to be an absolute scorcher. Tomorrow's going to be very, very hot here. 36, I think they're saying. I think 37 is about 100. So we're just under. It will be hot. Okay, folks, I'm going to dip out here now. So from Tina, and if you're interested in Tina, the link in the pinned comment, donations accepted. I really would like to repay the charity multiple fold, many fold over. I'm assuming our treatment was roughly 100 euros. If we can make sure to donate 200, 300, 500, if we can give the charity more so that they can help other people like me and dogs like Tina, that would be great. No arm twisting, but if you've got it, and if you were going to donate to me at any point in the next week, donate to them instead. Okay, folks, I'm out of here. From my friend Tina, who's outside, and from me, Delta Mike, out.